Tayyip Erdogan. Both Finland and Sweden applied to become NATO members 10 months ago in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, abandoning decades of non-alignment. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Wall Street remains lower as worries persist about the banking industry. All three major indexes now are down 1%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're entering a time of increasing hostility against people of faith, a time when Christians are going to be tested on a moral and physical and financial basis, unlike any other time in our lifetime. I'm Lance Wallnau, Christian author, evangelical leader, here to remind you that you have to take action to protect and steward what God has given you. For example, record high inflation is going to continue to eat away at the dollar, and the savings of your retirement account is in danger. Fortunately, God does provide a way. To protect your retirement, I recommend diversifying your 401k or IRA out of paper and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Now, to see how it works, just text the word faith to 989898. That'll give you access to a free info kit on gold IRAs. There are no strings attached, so text FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898 right now, and I pray your family is blessed with peace of mind because you took action.
South Korea and Japan's leaders met in Tokyo on Thursday in what has been hailed as a new milestone in their fraught relationship.
This visit comes after the South Korean president announced last week that he was going to resolve that long dispute over compensation over Japan's forced labor during wartime. President Yoon announced that his country was going to pay the victims and that Japan wasn't even going to be asked for a further apology. This is a controversial decision that angered many in South Korea, but here in Japan, it was hailed by the leadership.
BBC correspondent Shaina Khalil. Lawmakers in Germany have agreed to reduce the size of the country's increasingly bloated parliament. Parliament's lower house currently has a record 736 members. The plan reduces that number to 630. Two opposition parties vehemently critical, and a court challenge is expected. Breaking news at townhall.com. California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to transform San Quentin State Prison.
San Quentin sits on San Francisco Bay, housing the highest number of prisoners on death row in the country. But no one has been put to death there since 2006. Still, nearly 700 prisoners remain on death row today. Last year, Newsom announced plans to begin transferring those inmates to other prisons. San Quentin is to be transformed into a site where inmates can be rehabilitated and receive job training before returning to society. It's to be renamed the San Quentin Rehabilitation Center. Newsom's aim? To break the cycles of crime and create a new model for safety and justice. I'm Ben Thomas.
Minnesota regulators monitoring the cleanup of a leak of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water from Xcel Energy's Monticello nuclear power plant. They say that there is no health or safety risk to the community. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
News Talk 96.5 FM will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. The debate will begin at 6:30. All 6 qualified candidates for this mayoral race will be participating. News Talk 96.5 wants you, our listeners, to participate by submitting your What Do You Want to Know questions on our website. News Talk 96.5 will select a series of your submitted questions to be included and presented to the candidates in the live debate. Log on to newstalk965.com and submit your questions in the space provided. We invite you to attend the debate and hear the answers to the questions from each of the candidates for Jackson City Mayor. News Talk 96.5 FM and newstalk965.com will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. For more information, call our office at 731-800-6397.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Looking to add a little spice to your love life?
Nothing adds spice like gunpowder.
Jackson's only indoor shooting range. Date night at the range. Here's what you lovebirds get. A shooting lane for two targets, 100 rounds of ammo, eye and ear protection, and a $30 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse. All for just $99.99.
Now that's firepower.
Perfect for a gift card from The Range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
My name is Steven and I'm 41 years old. I started having problems with my weight, my focus, my energy all around. I spent thousands of dollars a year on supplements trying to get my weight down, and it never worked.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
So I got the treatment, and it has been the best decision of my life. I feel great. I'm losing weight. I have more energy. I'm getting stronger in the gym, and I can focus so much better. And I notice that I also sleep better, and I'm always in a good mood. And I believe it's all because of the BioT treatment.
To schedule an appointment to find out if BioTE is right for you, call 731-462-3596. That's 731-462-3596.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Take us with you wherever you go. Download our free apps for Apple and Android. Visit newstalkwtn.com. Then click to download.
It's always severe weather season in West Tennessee. When severe weather strikes, we're here for you. 96.5 FM, newstalkwtn.com.
He's a showboat. He's a grandstander. You know that. I know that. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life.
Live from Jackson in the heart of West Tennessee, this is the Dan Reeves Show.
He is a sick puppy.
Friday afternoon. It is 12 minutes past 3. We're setting at 47 degrees in Midtown and J-Town. My name's Dan Reeves, along with Larry Newman. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Let's see. Let's get you hide over there, big guy. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
How are you today?
I'm great.
How
are you?
Dan is great. My old friend Richard Archie's in the house, and ain't no doubt. Rich, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm just tired from a long week in Nashville.
Lordy, that has got to be kind of like a gut punch, drenching sort of a thing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to get up at 3:30 here if you're going to make it up there by 8 o'clock and then fight 40 all the way up.
You ain't kidding.
Dodging potholes, all that stuff in semis and all that jazz. And
yes.
You do it 3 days a week.
Yes.
You got to want to do that. I promise.
Richard Archie, Tennessee Firearms Association, TFA. We're going to have a conversation with Richard Archie about the gun legislation in Nashville. So, Rich, it's always great to have you here, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Larry Newman, let's start with you. It's 47 degrees. We've got another freeze warning we're dealing with. Let's take a look at the weather, and then we'll get right into the conversation with Richard Archie as we broadcast from the Gene Langley Ford studio in Jackson, Tennessee. And Gene Langley Ford at 3500 Eastern Drive in Humboldt, the dealership that service truly built. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. And you can shop online 24/7 at GeneLangleyFord.com. You can build the vehicle from the ground up. You can secure financing, even set service visits at GeneLangleyFord.com. Larry Newman, weather, 47 right now. Help.
Feels like 46. The high today, we've already had it, 49. The low tonight will be in the 30s, 31 or so. Partly cloudy, widespread frost after midnight. Lows around 30, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And more of that tomorrow, Saturday. It'll be about the same type of day. So it's going to be a chilly start, end of the week, and then we'll see from there.
That was kind of a ho-hum effort, and it's no need for just what I said today goes to tomorrow. I'm out. But hey, that's our late.
Well, it's
no need to waste any energy.
Actually, going to be worse tomorrow.
Well, how would we know? You didn't tell us. You said it's going to be more the same tomorrow. I'm out.
I'm out.
At least you're honest about it. You can join us. The phone lines presented by CWA Developments. CWA Developments. I know they're working on a job right now because a friend of ours, Gina's roof fell in, her ceiling, I should say. We ended up in her cup of coffee. And CWA Developments, they do fire and water damage restoration. She's got water damage, plumbing, gutter, roof, and window cleaning, wood repairs. We had Hurricane Katrina a couple of weeks ago. If your privacy fence took some damage, they'll take care of that. Deck repairs, CWA Development. 80 years of experience, commercial and residential maintenance, restoration, and renovation. Call 731-503-9598. They're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays for emergencies at that same phone number, 731-503-9598. You can text the program at 731-800-TEXT, 731-800-8398. Sponsored by Advanced Rehab and Medical. Dr. Shannon Bone is ranked in the top 10 in the world when it comes to chiropractors. That's pretty strong. He's not going to say, what I did to you today was similar to tomorrow. I'm out, sort of a thing. He is fantastic. The attention to detail, and you can end your chronic pain by calling Dr. Shannon Bone. Free consultation, 731-664-6998. So text the program at 731-800-TEXT, 731-800-8398. Our almost said presidential debate, but it sort of is, President of Jackson, the Jackson mayoral debates, which we're sponsoring, is Thursday, March 23rd, 6:30 p.m. at Jackson Northside Auditorium. All 6 candidates will be there, including Mayor Scott Conger. And we are taking suggestions, your questions, actually. You can log on to newstalk965.com, and you'll see at the top of the page, submit here your questions. If you'd like to have your question asked to one of the 6 mayoral candidates, including incumbent Scott Conger. That's Thursday night, March 23rd, Jackson Northside High School Auditorium. You can watch it at newstalk965.com, or you can listen right here on Newstalk 96.5 FM. But wait, there's more. Tuesday, March 21st, we're going to be at Oman Arena. It's the Jackson-Madison County Schools Career Fair. They're hiring for all positions, all departments, academics, technology, food service, transportation, athletics, safety, special education, and a whole lot more. You can visit jmcss.org/jobs, and you can apply right now. That's Tuesday, March 21st from 3 till 6, live at Oman Arena. This program right here on the road. Then, but wait, there's more next Friday. We're going to be at Bourbon and Barley's from 3 till 6. As we take you right into the weekend, this is kind of what we do. We take you, we push you, and we pull you right through the afternoon, on that downhill slide into the weekend. And it is St. Patrick's Day, for crying out loud. And I did what everyone should do. I had lunch at Mulligan's, Larry.
I heard. You didn't call me and invite me?
I did not. And it
I know,
wasn't by accident.
I didn't get a call and an invite.
It was not by accident. It was not a mistake. Larry Newman, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Rich, let's get down to it here. We got some business to talk about. You brought in a map that surprised me. We could do like Johnny Carson used to do. See, right here. It's a map, a long gun carry as a right. And the state, it's color-coded. The states that not allowed, except under a license, to carry a long gun. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4?
There's 4 states in D.C., that's correct.
Okay. Tennessee's one of those states that you can't carry a long rifle without a license. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, you would think that Tennessee, being the volunteer state,
and Florida,
and where we got our name was from independent citizens, private citizens carrying their own personal weapons. That's where we got our name. So, but what we've got is a situation where the General Assembly right now reached into the pocket of rights in 1801 and took away the right of citizens to carry a long gun then. And it's still on our books today. We became a state in 1796, and 5 years later, them rascals said, wait. No, we don't want you to have all your constitutional rights. We're just going to let you have some of them. So what we're going to do is say it now. It's a crime for you to carry a long gun. After the private citizens saved our bacon at Kings Mountain and stopped the British from taking us over at that point, they just kind of disbanded that and said, well, we don't trust our citizens whatsoever. That map that I brought in shows you where states trust their citizens, their lawful citizens. And Johnny Garrett made a really good statement in a committee hearing on Wednesday. And he is the
I'm
whip.
sorry, who?
Johnny Garrett.
Okay.
Johnny
All
Garrett.
right.
He's the whip of the Republican Party.
Right.
In the House. And he said, we've been fighting this stuff for a number of years, and it's a lot longer than even he realizes. But he said, what we keep doing is we jump to the worst scenario every time when we talk about a gun law, because we're assuming that the law-abiding citizens are going to commit crimes with them. And the thing that we really need to be looking at is criminals don't pay any attention to laws whatsoever. Hence their name, criminal.
Right. What police department, law enforcement, where do they come down on this? You talk with them?
Here's the thing. We had the director of the TBI. We had the commissioner of the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, which is Tennessee Highway Patrol, by the way. We'll talk about that in a minute because it's interesting. We had them and the Sheriff's Association and the legislative director of the Tennessee Department of Safety, and an individual from the governor's office come in last Wednesday, or Wednesday before last, on the 8th. And every one of them testified and said that we speak with the voice of the governor of the state of Tennessee, and we don't want to allow people to carry long guns in our state. And I just found that absolutely infuriating and interesting at the same time, because we wouldn't have a republic today if it weren't for Tennesseans with their long guns.
So you can have a long gun to hunt with rights and transport it in your vehicle if you have a license.
Oh, that's correct. Now, here's the other interesting thing.
License,
in 2014, the General Assembly of the state of Tennessee said that anybody that can possess a long gun can carry it loaded in their vehicle. You just can't get out with it. Okay?
So you don't need a license to hunting license to transport it.
No,
but if you
get
out
of that vehicle, if you go to a dove field that TWRA puts on,
right,
and you park your car in the parking lot and you have to walk across the road to go over to hunt, which they always do. They've got a parking area here. You got to get away from where you're actually going to be firing guns. For you to walk from your car to the location where you're going to hunt, you're committing a crime by carrying your shotgun and your shells at the same time. Because the way the code reads in 1308, it says that you can carry an unloaded shotgun or rifle, but you can't have ammunition within reach. Now, how smart's that? It's okay for them to transport up and down the road, and that's what I said a while ago. It was interesting with the Department of Safety because they're the Tennessee Highway Patrol. And where they patrol is the highways, right? Now, cars run on the highways.
Right.
And so it's been legal since 2014 for individuals to keep loaded shotguns and rifles in their vehicles without a permit. And I haven't heard them say anything about that causing a problem or an uptick with crime.
Has there been arrests made with people crossing the road?
Not that I'm aware of.
But the idea of that.
Well, and see, again, they passed that, and so it hasn't been a problem. For the last 9 years, it's been legal for any person who lawfully could possess a long gun to keep them loaded in their vehicle.
Right.
And we haven't seen, I have asked one of the legislators you and I can't send a Freedom of Information Act to the Department of Safety and ask how many arrests they've had because we're just merely the people that pay the bills.
Well, what would you?
We don't have the ability to get them to send that to us. But if you get a legislator to ask, that's a whole different thing. And we put in a request for that date.
That's democracy, isn't it? Not really, but a representative republic. What would you like to see, Rich? Would you like to be able to carry your long rifle into AutoZone, for example?
Yeah, unless they've got a sign that says I can't.
Well,
I lived in Texas for 20 years,
they're
and
removing
Texas allows that.
They're removing that right, though, from private businesses. Did that pass?
No, it did not.
It did not pass. Okay, all right. So it didn't pass.
Now, we could talk about that if you're interested in
yes,
facts.
absolutely. We've got to get a timeout. Yes, absolutely, I want to talk about it. So that did not pass.
Nope.
So a private business can put a sign on their front door saying no guns allowed. And
well, we never tried to keep them from doing that. We just wanted to take away their civil liability if they do. Because right now, the law in Tennessee says if you do not post, you have civil liability from any action on the part of anybody with respect to a Second Amendment.
Isn't that passive-aggressive, though?
Huh?
Is that passive-aggressive? Meaning that you really want
what we try to do is state the obvious. If the law now says that you cannot be sued if you do not post, then it would infer that if you do post, you can be sued.
Right.
Right? Okay.
So
that's what the law says now.
Right.
And has for years and years and years.
Yep.
And so all we wanted to do was just go ahead and state the obvious. Now, when you talk about private businesses, you have to go back to what the federal, do you know Article 6, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution, what it says?
Yes.
What it is?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Tell me.
Yes. We got to get a break.
Yeah, right. Right.
Everybody
What
knows that.
is.
It's so easy. I'm going to let Larry tell you. Yeah.
It's the supremacy clause.
Now, who would have that on the tip of their tongue? Come on, Rich. But what is it, though?
Okay, what it is the supremacy clause, and what it says is this Constitution and all laws which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and any treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, are the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, the laws of any state notwithstanding. Which means that if it's on the federal books, it trumps anything in the states. If you've got an analog, which
But I
matches that.
I thought we're states' rights, though.
Well, but here's the thing. States' rights? No, come on. They killed the 10th Amendment, shot that in the head in 1865. That booger's been dead and gone long, long ago. States don't have any rights.
But so state rights all a
No,
card.
you see this income tax?
No,
you
I know. I thought maybe I haven't heard you say an advocate for states' rights. I thought it had, but a lot of people are.
Oh, I'm absolutely an advocate for states' rights,
A
but
la
they don't
carte.
exist.
Okay, I'm with you. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back and continue this. It's always great to have Richard Archie on the program with the TFA, Tennessee Firearms Association. It is 3:27. It is 47 degrees. We'll continue here in just a moment on the program. And also, we've got something big happening at the range, Jackson's only indoor shooting range. And they also have the range store located inside the range. That's where we get our Black Rifle coffee. They've got all kind of gear and terrific items in the Range store. We're going to run those down for you as well when we return here on the program. 328, and it's 47 degrees. And Larry, you say we're under freeze warning until mid-morning tomorrow, correct?
That is correct, sir.
We'll follow that up with detail when we return as well. We'll run down the weekend weather forecast for you and what's happening in and around Jackson this weekend. There's some live music. There's Mulligan's tonight. Big time celebration for St. Paddy's Day. We'll get to all that when we return here on the program. 328 and 47 degrees. It's Friday. It is March 17th.
Over invoice, or 15% over invoice, or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? Wait, did I just say 0% over invoice? Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. As your authorized Ford ordering dealer, Gene Langley Ford, in partnership with Ford Motor Company, is accepting new orders at cost. So our price is your price. There's never been a better time to order your new Ford. Come see us today for details, and let's get your new Ford car, truck, or SUV on its way to your driveway. Struggling with credit issues? Not here. Our finance department can work magic to get you approved. Plus, every new Ford comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. And if you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, check out the great selection on our lot and online. Updated daily at GeneLangleyFord.com. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service bill.
At cost offer excludes Mustang GT500 and Raptor. See dealer for warranty and financing details.
The Rocket is coming to Jackson April 13th, Meridian Baptist Church. Roger Clemens will be the guest at the 4th annual benefit to the Trey Lindsay Scholarship. Roger Clemens has an unprecedented 7 Cy Young Awards, 354 wins, and 4,672 strikeouts. Clemens' career spanned 24 years with the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and Astros. The 11-time All-Star, winning 2 World Series with the New York Yankees. Silent auction is huge with sports celebrity memorabilia along with hunts, duck calls, vacation packages, restaurant packages, and more. Follow posts on Facebook mentioning items leading up to the event. Call 731-217-7187, 731-217-7187 for table sponsor or ticket information. Brought to you by Work Care Resources and News Talk 96.5 FM and NewsTalkWTN.com.
Vintage doesn't always mean long-lasting. As your home systems age, your repair costs, utility bills, and breakdowns rise. During Hiller's Vintage Showdown, we're giving away a free new system to the owner of the oldest HVAC unit. Submit a picture of your old equipment online to see if you qualify as the winner. Everybody wins with trade-in credits plus 0% financing for up to 48 months with approved credit on select new HVAC systems. Enter to win now at happyhiller.com.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Hey y'all, this is Mary at Mulligan's. Come see us soon before the new wears off. Hard to believe, but we're coming upon an anniversary in our locally family-owned business at Union University Drive. We still have our daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will remind you of Grandma's cooking. Or try our Irish dishes, fish and chips, Reuben's and shepherd's pie, or everyone's favorite, the Mully Burger. And how about brunch on Saturdays and Sundays? Yep, every weekend, serving Jackson for over 25 years. See you soon at Mulligan's.
Is your office or home office in need of a new printer, copier, fax, or multifunction machine? Do you need business cards, envelopes, or office supplies? Are you looking to upgrade to new office furniture? Office World Incorporated in Trenton has been serving all of the Gibson County and the West Tennessee area for over 65 years. Office World is a franchise partner of OfficeZilla. Call today 731-855-9131 or email officeworldinc@gmail.com.
What's better than 20% over invoice or 15% over invoice or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? Wait, did I just say 0% over invoice? Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. As your authorized Ford ordering dealer, Gene Langley Ford in partnership with Ford Motor Company is accepting new orders at cost. So our price is your price. There's never been a better time to order your new Ford. Come see us today for details and let's get your new Ford car, truck, or SUV on its way to your driveway. Struggling with credit issues? Not here. Our finance department can work magic to get you approved. Plus, every new Ford comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. And if you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, check out the great selection on our lot and online. Updated daily at GeneLangleyFord.com. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service bill.
At cost offer excludes Mustang GT500 and Raptor. See dealer for warranty and financing details.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
96.5 FM. Home of the Dan Reeves Show.
Weekday afternoons, 3 till 6. Opinions are like smartphones. Everybody has one. Text your opinion to us on the News Talk West Tennessee text line. Text 731-800-TEXT. That's 731-800-8398. The News Talk West Tennessee text line, presented by Advanced Rehab and Medical. Dr. Shannon Bone is ranked in the top 10 of the world's best chiropractors. Visit AdvancedRehabJackson.com and say goodbye to neck and back pain. Text 731-800-TEXT. That's 731-800-8398. Don't text and drive.
.35 in the program. It is 47 degrees. We'll run down in detail out the weather forecast for the weekend so you can make your plans. Tell you though, midweek next week, the temperatures make a recovery. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s and in the 70s by next weekend. But this weekend, it ain't happening for you, Captain. Dan Reeves, Larry Newman. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Good to see you, my friend. You can join us here. The phone number to get in is 731-265-6496. 731-265-6496. News Talk 96.5.com. And again, don't forget now the mayoral debate. Make your plans. You're invited to attend next Thursday night at 6:30 at Jackson Northside High School. All 6 candidates, including incumbent Mayor Scott Conger, will be there. You can listen here at News Talk 96.5, and you can watch at newstalk965.com and across our social media platforms for crying out loud. All that on a Thursday night. And our thanks to the Jackson Mass County School System and that gorgeous Jackson Northside High School Auditorium is where this event will be held. Richard Archie with the Tennessee Farms Association is our friend, and he's in the studio. Okay, Rich, so what was it, the last thing we were talking about, we were going to get into, and that was, did it have to do with the legislation about businesses?
Yeah.
Well,
what it is, right now in Tennessee under 1359, and all these code sections that deal with firearms, 3917, 13-something. So 1359 is the signage that allows anybody that wants to put a sign up that says no guns allowed.
Right.
I mean, if you remember down here, they the wing place told the police officers they had to get up and leave because they didn't allow guns in their restaurant. You remember that?
I do not. Right here in Jackson?
It sure did.
Wait a minute. I've never heard of that happening.
Yeah, because once you post, you can post for everybody, and so a gun's a gun, right?
Did they get up and leave? I guess they did.
Because if you don't, you're guilty of criminal trespass.
Even a police officer.
Yeah.
State
Unless
trooper.
they're on official duty, if they're in there trying to arrest somebody or do something like that. They just go in and sit down and eat. They're just like the rest of us at that point.
Okay. All right. So, I got you.
Now, what they say
that's
is
aggressive,
that any
that's
private
aggressive.
property can post, okay? But if you go to the federal code section, what it says is that any place that puts out a shingle and opens up for commerce is no longer private, but is a public conveyance. And here's the fact. If you can't tell somebody they can't come into your store because they got blue hair or they speak a different language or their skin color is different,
no
if
shirt,
you can't
no
tell
shoes,
them to come, that
no
they
service.
can't come in, then it's not a private entity anymore. It's a public conveyance.
Okay.
And so we're trying to get the state to look at that and say, okay, you talk about states' rights. All right. The state should be able to, or people who live here should be able to enjoy their constitutional rights. Would you not agree?
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So what?
That's a great way to put it. With the question.
The question is, should each of us be able to enjoy our constitutional rights?
Right. Who's going to say no to that, right?
Oh, well, everybody does. When they put that sign up, they say that you can't enjoy your constitutional right to bear arms
Well,
in case of confrontation, either offensive or defensive
So
with
you're,
another citizen.
you're denying that a citizen their civil rights.
Yeah, that's correct.
And would that be the same?
fact,
But remember the
I'm
guy
glad that you
remember the baker out in Arizona that refused to bake the wedding cake, the gay wedding cake?
Yeah. But he did not tell them they couldn't come in his store.
Well, if he's not going to serve them, what's the difference?
Well, he said you can buy anything in the place.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Because
he said anything on that shelf over there, you can buy any bit of that. All of it's for sale. I'm just not going to specifically make you a cake for a gay wedding. And so, would he have been under the auspices of the Constitution should they have been able to make him do that?
What do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you can come in, but I'll pick and choose.
If anything,
I'm
that
not
you see
saying I'm
on
not
the
saying
shelf
you're wrong.
is for sale, you can have.
Yep. Because
Go ahead and unhook your wallet and hand me the money, and you can take it with you out the door.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
He just wouldn't bake them.
That's right. He wouldn't make a special thing for him.
Okay.
He said, my religion tells me that I can't do that. And so I
but
think
he was. If you do that though, because it's a sin in his eyes, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, but then we're all sinners. He'd be out of business if he really meant it.
The thing about it is, everybody gets to pay their money and take a choice. If they don't want to go in that store, don't go in that store.
No, I was just specifically saying the logic of what he did. We're all sinners. I guess you can pick and choose which sins you want to. I guess, right?
I think we can because we're sentient beings and individuals,
right?
And we have the opportunity to make our minds up on every issue. But
how do you square this?
It's
the same. It's kind of the same issue though. The way you put it with denying civil rights.
But he wasn't denying them their civil rights. They were trying to deny him his. And by the way, once they worked it all the way through the courts, it was found to be correct.
Yeah, he was. The ruling was that you're correct. He did win in civil court. He did. Yes, he did. I'm just trying to figure out how much.
Telling you, hey, you know what we're fixing to do? I'm fixing to tell you what programming you're going to put on because I'm the public and I should be able to tell you. And you're going, wait, no, this is my radio station.
Well, if I sold air, it would be different. It'd be a little bit different. I don't sell.
Well, he didn't tell them they couldn't have the cakes in his store. He had a whole bunch of them sitting on the shelves. They were welcome to any one of them.
Yep. No, if you're fine with that, so I'm just asking you. But it's. I just don't try to tell me he did it based off his religious views and if they're sinners. Well, that's very unchristlike, though, to pick and choose.
I can't.
But that's the guy he's supposed to follow, though.
What I consider to be an abomination.
Yeah, but a sin is a sin, though, right?
No, that's not a sin for you to deny to do work.
No. He didn't bake it because he felt it was a sin.
That's right.
But gluttony's fine. Divorced people are fine. I'm just trying to make sense of it. The logic is out the window when you pick and choose and go a la carte with what you just don't you think?
That's necessarily so. I think each of us has the ability in our own place because.
I'm not saying you don't have the ability. It's very hypocritical.
I don't think that's hypocritical at all.
To pick and choose?
No, I don't think that's hypocritical at all.
Okay.
I mean, let's talk about, say you got a Christian bookstore. Would you bring a Satanistic book in there and expect them to have to sell that book? Would you think that would be prudent or correct?
Well, no.
Okay. So it's exactly the same thing. You're asking
wait a minute,
Rich.
If you ask me, do you really want me to answer?
I do.
But they didn't take a cake in there and say, you got to start selling these cakes.
No, they said, we want you to make one specifically for us.
Oh, we're talking about two different things. I'm just trying to figure out the logic when, just be honest and say, I don't like gay people, is all I'm saying. If you don't want to sell it to them, don't tell me that you can pick and choose, go a la carte on your sins.
The question that we were talking about
don't say you're following Jesus.
Did he tell them they could not come in his store?
But listen, here's my point. The people that continue to say, there's a war on Christmas, and there are less people going to church, and it's a war on church and religion. No, the war, it's things like this that people that look at that and go, this is so hypocritical, I don't want anything to do with it. Because they pick and choose. They pick and choose. Oh, I'm not saying I would go. I'm telling you how it sounds when people pick and choose their sins.
Here's what we do as the Tennessee Firearms Association. We tell you, we give you a card. And if it says they've got a sign up there that says you can't carry a firearm in our place, we say don't go in that store.
Oh, no, I'm with you on you. If the man don't want to bake him a cake, I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, and not you, it's the proverbial, don't tell me that this is about religion and about sin when it's not.
What I came in to talk today about is kind of about religion, because if you go back to what Christ said when he was talking to the apostles as they came in, and it's the prudent time right now because we're just before the crucifixion, right? We're just before Easter and all that. He said, you know what? Palestine's a very dangerous place. And he looked around and he said, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one, because it's necessary that each of us be able to provide security and safety for ourselves. Palestine was a very dangerous place. And even Christ said, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one.
So the United States obviously is a dangerous place.
It is.
Do you think it's because we don't have enough guns?
Absolutely.
We have more guns than people.
Oh, no.
We don't?
No. Absolutely not.
So that's false.
Yes.
How many
do we
guns
have more cars than people? Do we have more bottles of water than people?
Well, but hold on, Rich.
Most people don't get.
Look, you tried.
What killed more people in the United States last year?
Right.
Guns or fist?
Guns or fist?
Guns or fist?
That sounds like, no pun intended, a loaded question.
Yeah, it is a loaded question because I know the answer.
So more people were beaten to death with fists than
killed with guns. That's right. Hammers kill more people in the United States than rifles did.
I've got to see this. I know you to be an honest man, but I've got to see this.
Look up John Lott stuff.
Who?
John Lott, Dr. John Lott. That's what he does all the time is research on these type things.
Who is he?
Dr. John Lott. Okay. Well,
no, seriously. I'm not saying that he's nobody.
An institute. It's the Crime Prevention Institute.
Right.
You need to look him up, and you will
I want to.
Astounded at the data that he shows. Because all this mess that we hear from the liberals on the other side about guns are lies is what they are.
Okay, so this is the mass shootings.
What do you consider to be a mass shooting?
It's not what I consider. It's what's
I'm asking
the rule
you what
of thumb.
You consider a mass shooting to
be. More than one person getting shot.
Okay, so I mean, a car wreck is a mass car wreck if two people get injured or die in a car wreck.
Why do you run all over the place with this? I mean, you're not addressing. No, Rich, and you know I respect you. I love you.
I get it.
But
the terminology that they use, you find out that mass shootings in the United States is not the leader in that. There are other countries that have far worse. You think they got mass shootings in Ukraine right now?
Well, that's a war.
Okay.
That's having to dip to the bottom of the barrel to justify what's happening here. Some people would say.
Because if you look at what I'd like to do is talk about the Constitution instead of all these other issues that you're bringing up.
I'm just asking,
a very simple question. I'm not doing much talking, Rich.
What do you think the Constitution gives you a right to do with firearms?
Let me say this. Here's a question that's been asked, and I wanted to ask you: is a well-regulated militia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that
means that the militia is well regulated.
Who's regulating the militia?
Well, whoever, the states, whatever. Would you trust the Supreme Court to answer that question?
No, I'm asking you.
No, okay. Well, I just gave you that. It says specifically that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma. That's the end of the prefatory clause right there. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And Scalia said point blank that well-regulated is simply a term that describes how we must have the militia ready to use those weapons, practice in their use. It doesn't regulate the right, it regulates the militia.
It has.
And Scalia said that.
What's the definition of a militia, though?
The militia is every able-bodied person.
It could be a militia of one, I guess.
If there's only one there, if there's 10, you got a militia.
But wasn't what it was said to me is what I jotted it down to ask you to get your thoughts on it. This was back when there was no standing army like the U.S. Army. There was states had these militias. Well, Tennessee had a militia in case Arkansas wanted to invade.
No,
essentially.
No, that's not what they had.
Well, what
they had a militia to join together. If you've read any of the history of the United States, which is what that United States, okay. The militia stands ready in case we are invaded, which we were. Let's take the best issue that I can think of that is 1812.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. If Arkansas decided to come take our stuff, our militia would have fought off Arkansas. It was for that as well, right?
No.
No?
What it's for
so we
is
stand
to
down.
protect
Here comes
the
Arkansas.
entire republic. Okay. You can't have a war between Arkansas and Tennessee. This ain't Europe, by the way. Because then the federal government would step in.
Well, now they did
have
a war between states now. You read about that, right?
See, what they tried to do is but again, what you're trying to do is obfuscate, and we're not talking about
No, not at all. I'm giving you a chance to address things that are asked.
You keep trying to lead me down a different path, and I keep trying to bring you back to the issue at hand. And it ain't going to work for you because I'm smarter than that.
Rich, I respect you.
I understand all that, but
I'm trying to ask you
that some liberal's given you.
No.
And I gave you the answer on the regulations.
You know me. I carry guns. And these are questions. Do they not, Larry? They come up all the time, and I jot them down. And
if you don't trust Scalia, who is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in 2008,
right,
to answer that question, who you going to listen to?
The same Scalia, a part of the same Supreme Court to say Citizens United. That is false. That's a lie. And corporations are people too. Trust those people. The supreme morons. Come on. They're bought and paid for. You know that, don't you?
That's not what you asked about.
Well, no, I was addressing a specific question you asked me. No. You asked me if I trusted the Supreme Court or Scalia. I was just addressing that question. But now what is it? What are you looking for there?
I'm going to give you Scalia's exact words because I bring my. You know me. I don't just talk.
Richard, I know you're prepared. I have a mad respect for your skills, and you know this. You know this, Rich. Okay, so while Rich is thumbing through his notes, the Beauty to the Bone, we were there, a couple of weeks ago? Beauty to the Bone Med Spa is fan-stinking-tastic. You can discover the latest in advanced skincare treatments at Beauty to the Bone. Rejuvenate with these treatments and look your best. Hey, if you look good, you feel good, right, Larry?
Right.
How about a jelly mask? I asked Michelle if she had a grape jelly mask. Advanced signature facials, brightening facial, that'll give your skin a great tone. And if you got a teenager, just for teens, facial. If you wonder why teenagers don't have acne anymore, it's because of procedures like that. Also, skin corrections. If you've got some what's called sunspots, discoloration, Beauty to the Bone Med Spa can take care of that. Teeth whitening, they even do that. Hair removal for the face only, Larry. If you're thinking about getting a a manicure, you know what I'm saying, for bathing suit season.
Manscaped.
Yeah, Manscaped. They're not going to do that for you. The LED light therapy is fantastic. Eyebrow tint or wax, and the 4D Botana facelifting laser. Remarkable results right here in Jackson. And beauty to the bone. Beauty is not just skin deep. It goes all the way to the bone. Beauty to the bone. They got a mission, and they're on it, and a purpose to help each person look and feel beautiful inside and out. Rich, you feel beautiful inside and out.
Oh, absolutely.
You ain't no fun at all, man. Beauty to the bone.
What I'm fixing to do is pick this computer up and beat you with it in just a minute, because I'm fixing to.
That's the way that we were raised in Milan.
There you
because
go.
And we still carry that today. We're both from Milan, and you were it took a village to raise an idiot, basically, or you really did have that when we were kids.
Rex Tatum would jerk you off your bicycle in the middle of the street and beat your tail and carry you home to your daddy.
Absolutely.
Because you were in the middle of the road riding a bicycle when you shouldn't have been, and your daddy would beat you again.
Absolutely. Wasn't it a great place to grow up?
It was.
I enjoyed it. We'll come right back, and Rich has found what in his briefcase and his files, he found what he's looking for, and he'll share it with you when we return here. Our friend Richard Archie with the Tennessee Firearms Association is here, and he's going to get after me, but we're great friends, and this is what I enjoy. This every time you come in, Rich.
Jody will call you until you go whooped again when this is over.
Lay, don't get nervous.
I'm not nervous.
No, he said
you, not me.
He's grinning.
Richard knows he's licensed to snatch a jerk about a half inch out of our backside. It ain't nothing I can do about it. It's just how it is. 153 North Star Drive. That is Beauty to the Bone. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Coming right back, Richard Archie is in the house with the Tennessee Firearms Association. And we'll be right back with Richard Archie. You stay right there.
King Jewelers is not your typical jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love, custom-made jewelry to suit the most discriminating taste. Or you can redesign an old piece that's just sitting in a jewelry box. Create something completely new and unique. Grover has over 40 years' experience as a certified jeweler. Visit KingJewelerJackson.com. King Jewelers at 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson. Follow King Jewelers Jackson on social media for special savings.
Are you looking to move up in your career, change career paths, or maybe even thinking about finishing that degree you started? Jackson State Community College is here to help you greenlight your career. If you're 23 and older, you may qualify to go to college tuition-free through Tennessee Reconnect. Yes, you heard that right, tuition-free at Jackson State. Whether you're earning your degree for the first time to advance your career or finishing a degree you already started, Jackson State Community College is here to greenlight your career. It's time to take the next step in earning your degree. Learn how at jscc.edu/reconnect.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
What do you think he'll get you this year? Candy? Flowers?
No, I was thinking something more sparkly.
Wow, congratulations. How many carats do you think he'll spring for?
Girl, forget the ring. I want some of that shiny 45 Automark bling.
At 45 Automark, get a jewelry box full of $1,000 savings just by walking in and saying,
"Show me the bling."
We've had an 18-year clean Carfax successful marriage to our customers, and to keep the romance alive, we're taking $1,000 off so our relationship thrives. Say, "Show me the bling," and carry this loaded leather sunroof Honda CRV over the threshold for $11,900, or pick up this 60,000-mile 2020 Chevy Colorado for just $21,900. Don't fall for Mr. Megadigger with a sappy sales spiel and false love sting when every drive-in your Forever 45 ride will give you the feels like a sweet romance with $1,000 off because you said,
"Show me the bling."
So call 989-8059 or come to 45 Automark today. Wear your $1,000 off the perfect for you ride with that love's in bloom at first sight that feeling that'll make you swoon and leave you reeling, dealer!
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Looking to add a little spice to your love life?
Nothing adds spice like gunpowder.
Jackson's only indoor shooting range, date night at the range. Here's what you lovebirds get: a shooting lane for two targets, 100 rounds of ammo, eye and ear protection, and a $30 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse. All for just $99.99.
Now that's firepower.
Perfect for a gift card from the range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
The Southside Hawks play here. 96.5 FM, News Talk West Tennessee. NewsTalkWTN.com.
Welcome back to the program. We're approaching the top of the hour. Richard Archie with the Tennessee Firearms Association is in the house. Logan's going to join us after the top of the hour as well and run down what's happening at Bourbon and Barley's. Richard might have some questions for him concerning Bourbon and Barley. Have you been there, Rich?
I have not.
Oh, I think it's your kind of place. We'll be right back.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. California's 11th atmospheric river has left the state. Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley says the county was racked by storm damage. She spoke to ABC7 Los Angeles.
In addition to this hillside slide and the impact to these residents, the displacement to these residents, the impact to the property owners here, we also are seeing across Orange County upwards of $4 million in damage just as of today, and that's just since March 9th.
And the next round of winter weather arrives in the coming days. Also at townhall.com, Chinese President Xi Jinping planning to visit Russia next week in a diplomatic boost for President Vladimir Putin. Meanwhile, Ukraine's presidential office reporting 2 civilians killed, 9 more wounded in Ukraine in the last 24-hour period.
Donetsk governor Pavlo Kyrylenko says Russian forces shelled 13 Ukrainian-controlled cities and villages in the area. Battles for the city of Bakhmut continue. Kyiv's army is fighting Russia's Wagner group over the northern districts of the city, trying to avert attempts at encirclement. In the neighboring Luhansk region, the Russian armies trying to break through Ukrainian defenses, with the fighting concentrated near the city of Kremina and a nearby village. I'm Charles Stillerdesma.
In consumer news, Ford recalling more than 1 million vehicles in the U.S. in 2 actions to fix leaky brake hoses and windshield wiper arms that can break. The largest recall covering nearly 1.3 million 2013 through 2018 Ford Fusion and Lincoln MKX midsize cars. The second recall covers more than 200,000 F-150 pickups from 2021. A lower close on Wall Street. The Dow was off 387 points. More at townhall.com.
My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest-rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
The German parliament voting to limit its own size following heated debate.
Germany has the largest freely elected parliament in the world. And for years now, because of the country's complicated voting system, it's been getting even bigger with every single federal election. The German government argues that an ever-expanding parliament is expensive, unpopular with voters, and slows down agreement. But conservative and radical left-wing opposition parties are in uproar, because under the new rules, they would most likely lose seats in the next election. They accuse the government of a power grab, calling the reform an attack on democracy.
BBC correspondent Damien McGuinness. In Burundi, an outbreak of polio linked to the vaccine, the first time the disease has been detected in that East African country in more than 3 decades. The government declaring the outbreak to be a national public health emergency. Breaking news at townhall.com. Minnesota regulators monitoring the cleanup of a leak of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water from Xcel Energy's Monticello nuclear power plant.
The company says it took swift action to contain the leak to the plant site, and there's no health and safety risk to the local community or the environment. While Xcel reported the leak to state and federal authorities in late November, the spill had not been made public before Thursday. State officials say they waited to get more information before going public with it.
Correspondent Jeremy House. California Governor Gavin Newsom plans to transform San Quentin State Prison, a facility in the San Francisco Bay Area known for maintaining the highest number of prisoners on death row in the country. The goal, to turn it into a site where inmates can be rehabilitated and receive job training before returning to society. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
News Talk 96.5 FM will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. The debate will begin at 6:30. All 6 qualified candidates for this mayoral race will be participating. News Talk 96.5 wants you, our listeners, to participate by submitting your What Do You Want to Know questions on our website. News Talk 96.5 will select a series of your submitted questions to be included and presented to the candidates in the live debates. Log on to newstalk965.com and submit your questions in the space provided. We invite you to attend the debates and hear the answers to the questions from each of the candidates for Jackson City Mayor. News Talk 96.5 FM and newstalk965.com will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. For more information, call our office at 731-800-6397.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Welcome to Hampton Inn & Suites of Jackson. Make yourself at home in any of the 83 rooms or suites. Hampton Inn & Suites exit 83 at I-40 is minutes away from all Jackson destinations like the West Tennessee Healthcare Sportsplex, Casey Jones Village, Jackson Madison County General Hospital, and many industrial complexes. Enjoy free Wi-Fi, free parking, and free hot breakfast. Also a 24-hour fitness and business center. Welcome to West Tennessee. Make your reservations now by calling direct at 731-426 847-6100 or visit Hampton.com.
When you need a heart expert, you need an expert with heart. Corbin Cardiology is dedicated to providing the highest quality cardiovascular care in West Tennessee. At Corbin Cardiology, our patient-centered approach, along with a full array of diagnostic imaging services, sets us apart from other cardiovascular clinics. Corbin Cardiology has clinics in Bartlett, Dyersburg, Lexington, and the newest location is now open in Jackson at 58 Murray Guard Drive. To schedule an appointment in office or by telemedicine, visit CorbinCardiology.com
or call 731-513-5701.
What's better than 20% over invoice or 15% over invoice or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? Wait, did I just say 0% over invoice? Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Jean Langley Ford in Humboldt. As your authorized Ford ordering dealer, Jean Langley Ford in partnership with Ford Motor Company is accepting new orders at cost. So our price is your price. There's never been a better time to order your new Ford. Come see us today for details and let's get your new Ford car, truck, or SUV on its way to your driveway. Struggling with credit issues? Not here. Our finance department can work magic to get you approved. Plus, every new Ford comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. And if you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, check out the great selection on our lot and online. Updated daily at JeanLangleyFord.com. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. You really should try Jean Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service bill.
At cost offer excludes Mustang GT500 and Raptor. See dealer for warranty and financing details.
My name is Steven and I'm 41 years old. I started having problems with my weight, my focus, my energy all around. I spent thousands of dollars a year on supplements trying to get my weight down and it never worked.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there is an exciting natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or creams.
I got the treatment and it has been the best decision of my life. I feel great. I'm losing weight. I have more energy. I'm getting stronger in the gym and I can focus so much better. And I notice that I also sleep better and I'm always in a good mood. And I believe it's all because of the BioT treatment.
To schedule an appointment to find out if BioTE is right for you, call 731-462-3596. That's 731-462-3596.
News Talk West Tennessee includes NewsTalk965.com and NewsTalk 96.5 FM, covering local news, sports, and weather on an extensive network of platforms, including radio, social media streaming, digital TV, live stream, podcasts, all on your devices. Our local and live weekday lineup includes Daybreak with Greg Wood and G-Unit, Walker Talks with Chuck Walker and Julie Holt, The Dan Reeves Show with Gina Langley and Larry Newman, Dave Ramsey, Jackson-Madison County Schools Game of the Week, UT Vols Sports, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Local, live, News Talk West Tennessee and NewsTalk965.com. Hear it first on News Talk 96.5 FM. We might be talking about you.
He's a showboat. He's a grandstander. You know that. I know that. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life.
Live from Jackson in the heart of West Tennessee, this is the Dan Reeves Show.
He is a sick puppy.
Welcome back to the program. My name's Dan Reeves. Rich, don't even say it, Richard. Okay, it's
not me.
I was doing business right up until the mic was hot. Logan is in the. Hey, Logan, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dan?
Doing fantastic. Have you met Richard Archie?
Good.
Officially just a few minutes ago, yeah. Uh-huh.
We're longtime friends. It may not seem like it, but I love to have Richard Archie in the house. And Rich is here. He's with the Tennessee Firearms Association, TFA. And if you are a gun owner, this man is looking out for you. I'll tell you that. Larry Newman is here.
Yes, I am.
Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Hi, Larry. Let's take another look at the weather, if you don't mind. Right now it's 47 degrees, and we're setting right now. Well, we've topped out at 50 today, and we're at 47 tonight. We're going to drop another 20 degrees, Larry. That's the model I'm looking at.
The low tonight is going to be 31, according to our Doppler. Partly cloudy, widespread frost after midnight. Lows around 30, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure in Bemis is 29.96. On Saturday.
That's in Bemis.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Saturday.
Sorry, Larry. That may vary from location to location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday, the high will be 45, the low 23. But it's going to be clear and sunny, all weekend. Sunday, 38. For the high, Sunday night, 23.
The high Sunday night, 23. That means low. I don't mean to correct you. I know you'd want to know.
I don't know. You keep interrupting me while I'm trying to do the weather.
Don't be.
I know Jim Cantori. Nobody interrupts him while he's doing the weather.
Yeah, but Jim Cantori doesn't say, and whatever for Saturday, I'm out. No, Larry, you're right about that. Jim Cantori is, I would not hang out with Jim Cantori, though. I would hang out with you. So don't go all half a sissy on me, Larry. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Monday.
Don't cry before you've been hurt is what I'm saying, right? Go ahead.
I'm not G-Unit. Monday, the high will be...
I'm about to turn Richard Archie loose on you.
Monday, the high will be 49 and sunny, and the low Monday night, 28. So that gets us through the weekend and into next week.
And so what's the high going to be Sunday night? Never mind. Do you have a question for Richard? I know you've been sitting over there. I think you've been stunned. You've been almost like you are pointed towards the door in case you need to get out here quickly. Did you have a question for Richard? He can't get to you. We're live on the air.
No, I don't have any. I'm just wish he would take it easy on you. The smell of that roasted hiney filling the studio.
I've danced with Richard before, and I knew when he called me today, when he comes in here, it's he's going to go all Richard Archie. I know he is, and I expect that. That's why I love the man like I do. Richard, it's great to see you.
It's great to be here.
Absolutely. See there?
I'm not the monster people make me out to be.
I don't. I know that. You're very entertaining. You don't get that often when it comes to, Wayne. What's his Wayne Pierre? What's his name?
Wayne LaPierre.
It's even worse than what I said. Wayne LaPierre. You wouldn't get this from Wayne LaPierre.
Oh, he doesn't. He's a little too staid in his $500 suit.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Logan. You with us on that?
$500 suits, yeah.
Yes,
I can get down with $500 suits.
Well, right next door to us is Cambridge Men's Store, and you could pay $5,000 for a suit if you want to, but it wouldn't look any better than what Cambridge has. Mantoni, Bertolini, all the Italian guys, De Niro, Pesci, Ray Liotta died, though. It's $200 is what they start at with a seamstress and a tailor on staff. Because it doesn't matter what suit you wear, if it doesn't fit right, it doesn't look good, does it, Rich?
That's correct.
Absolutely. We are Rich and I both are from Milan.
Yes.
And we know. I mean, we do. Have you noticed between what's South Milan, Sitka, and Medina, I guess now combined, Milan's up to 8,000 people. Now, that sounds like so what? But it is a milestone for Milan. We reached 8,000 people in 1980 and then quickly dipped right below the 8,000. Right. And we're back to that. Then you add in essentially Milan Medina area, you're looking around 20,000 people.
Yeah. And, the thing about that is it's because of the school systems up there.
Right.
Because you'll starve to death looking for a job because there's no industry up there except Seco Plus pretty much anymore. I mean, you remember we had the Milan Arsenal out there, and everybody in the world came in there and worked, and that's closed down and it's gone.
Right. What a shame that is.
But, again, you still have one of the better public school systems in the state, and I would have to say in the United States.
Yeah.
Right there in Milan, Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's one of the cleaner towns in West Tennessee. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is a good school system, no doubt. And with the Milan Arsenal, at one time, I guess during its heyday, do you have any idea how many they employed more than actually the population of Milan?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They had about 15,000 working out there.
Right.
At the biggest time. Yeah.
Yeah, what surprised me, Rich, when I first came to Jackson is how many people that lived in Jackson actually worked over to Milan Arsenal.
It was, the industry in West Tennessee for a long time. It and Goodyear up in Union City, if you remember, they had the big Goodyear tire plant.
Oh, yes. Yes. And West Tennessee lost both Goodyear and the Arsenal right around the same time, right?
Yeah.
Well, gone is the Arsenal, gone is A.O. Smith's been gone a long time. That huge factory, is it still sitting empty out there? It is.
Yeah.
And Seco is still maintaining. I guess they're doing well. Evidently, doors were not just a fad.
No.
We need doors. So at one time, Corey Foam, Douglas and Lomason, all these are gone. ITT are long gone. It's been, and Seco's maintained and even grown. So that's really it, I guess, huh? Where do people work? If I guess Lowe's or Walmart
and I think a lot of them, because I still go to Dr. Johnny Tucker, my dentist up there.
Dr. Johnny Tucker, yeah.
Early in the morning. Of course, he was also my quarterback on that 7-1 state championship.
The son of John Tucker.
I'm driving out of Jackson to go to Milan. I'm the only car on the road going up there because everybody from Milan and Gibson and South Gibson and Medina are driving towards Jackson. It's a steady stream of cars coming this direction, and I'm the lone soul headed that direction at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. That's good for you, though.
Yeah, it makes it easy to get up there on time.
Right.
If I can just get down Oldwell Road with the 87 red lights, that takes 22 minutes to make a quarter of a mile.
Have you seen the study that was done? It was released, I believe, through the Chamber of Commerce. It's got the projection of the population growth along the amount of jobs, peripheral jobs, that's going to come off of Blue Oval City.
I've seen that, but I'm not awfully convinced yet. They're going to have to prove it to me because, projections are one thing, actuals are another. I tend to live in the world of actuals. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's even if it's shy of that number, it's still going to be a transformation for West Tennessee because 60,000 jobs and some tremendous growth, especially for Jackson. When it comes to Blue Oval City, we're set up. It looks like to be in very good shape, no matter what happens with the economy. If there's a downturn, even when the Great Recession, Rich, there were cities that did very well. Local economies varied from city to city and state to state, even during the Great Recession.
Yeah, see, Texas got oil. That's done really well.
Yeah, Houston was one of those cities.
Everybody else was doing bad. That's what happened to me. I moved from Tennessee to Texas in the 80s because you couldn't give you labor way to here. But now the question I've got for you, going to talk to this gentleman sitting in between us?
I am.
That's what you brought him in here for.
I brought him in here. Rich, he's put me on the spot again. See,
it's all right. It's all right. This is an interesting position between the two of you. The banter is great, and prior to that, the debate was intense.
There's not going to be any dead
but
air.
Interesting.
There will not be any dead air with me and Richard here. Okay, so Logan is with Bourbon and Barley's, and Bourbon and Barley's is, man, it's the lunch special Monday through Friday runs from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
4 p.m. We've got the longest lunch in town, probably.
So you can have an early lunch or you can have an early dinner. You can have a late lunch or an early dinner. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're not going to get upset, are you?
Nope.
I'm
not mad.
It's a great place for lunch, and those extended lunch hours, that is brilliant. Did you come up with that?
I did not. That was all Barry Neighbor's idea. He 100% brought that out on the table to try to boost our lunch crowd, because those first couple of weeks we were opened, lunch was hurting a little bit. It wasn't anything to write home about, but bringing in those $10 lunch specials up until 4 o'clock really boosted our business. The turnaround has been just incredible, especially from a management standpoint. My servers are happier, of course, because they get to make a little bit extra money now.
Of course, yes. Right.
So keeping them happy is really the most important part.
Well, I got to tell you, your servers are fantastic. I can see why they would make more money, because they work very hard for that money.
They do. I have seen some pretty crazy situations. I know last weekend we had a birthday party that booked for 30 and it ended up being 45.
What?
So we had just had one little girl on it, and she managed to rock it out all by herself. I don't know how she did it. I would have lost my mind. But I have been in the restaurant industry for about 15 years. So a party of 45, I would have asked for a partner. I don't know how she did it by herself.
Right. Well, okay, so there's a lot of restaurants in Jackson. You would admit that, right? So why should I choose Bourbon and Barley's?
I think Bourbon and Barley is one of the best choices in town, just because, it is a locally owned sort of establishment, so you don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle of all of the corporate nonsense, because we all know Jackson has supported corporate restaurants for years, and now we're seeing an influx of locally owned places coming into town, and that's really important. And then on top of that, it's just like an interesting concept. We've got all the bourbon you could ever imagine at this point. We've got a great selection of beer. The food is interesting and different. You can almost go there and have a different combination of things at any given time, especially with the build your own pizza option. So you can change up your pizza every time you come in. You don't have to get the same thing twice.
Let me ask you this. Is that a wood stove that you use for the pizzas?
I wish, but it's a fantastic stove.
Or oven, I should say, right? Pizza. It's not a pizza stove, it's a pizza. You know Richard, the narrator barber. Rich.
Yeah.
He's, I was thinking about him because he had a line that he would use. He don't use it anymore. I haven't seen him. He got married, hadn't seen him since. We miss him, don't we, Larry?
Yes, we do.
He was a good man. He had a great run. He's gone now. And Megan, I'm kidding. But we would go out to restaurants, and waitress come up. He'd always order a steak. He's a meat eater. He's a Gibson County boy. And she'd say, "How do you want that cooked, sir?" He said, "Well, hon, y'all got an oven back there, a stove back there, don't you? You just use that." Maybe it's not that funny to you. I thought it was funny. You get it, Rich?
Well, yeah.
How do you want
we have a different deal when you've lived in Texas for a long time.
Yeah.
You just say, knock his horns off and wipe his hiney and put him on a plate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do you always have to one-up me? Come on, Rich.
Hey, you don't have to get up early to do it.
You got any questions about bourbon and barley? Do you drink bourbon?
I do.
Is there a specific brand?
I am a Wild Turkey 101 drinker.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. How about some Wild Turkey 101?
Oh, yeah, we've got Wild Turkey 101.
Now, do you have bourbon at Bourbon and Barley's that I couldn't normally get here in town?
Right now, because we do have such a large account with a lot of the distributors, and we have been selling a lot of those, your Buffalo Traces, your Wheatleys, we have gotten some of the allocated bottles that nowhere in town can get. We had the twice barreled Jack Daniel's 2022 release, which only had a specific number of bottles that they released. It retailed for about $600 in the liquor store. And we managed to score a bottle of it, and we just sold the last bit of it yesterday. So you'll never see that again.
Well, now you tell us. Now, Larry drinks what he thinks is high, and he drinks Evan Williams. Yep.
Evan Williams is solid. We've actually got a couple of, we've got regular Evan Williams, and we've got 2 other bottles of Evan Williams that are a different sort of proof.
Well, I didn't know it was even considered solid. I used to drink that before I got a job.
Yeah.
What about?
I mean, it stepped up its game a little bit. It's no Kentucky Deluxe, let me tell you.
What about Johnny Walker Red?
Yes, red, black, and blue.
What? Man, you ever have that, Rich?
Nope.
It's good. It's
a Scotch. We talked about it over the break. I don't think he cares for Scotch.
Oh, you don't
very
care
much.
for Scotch? Okay. What about you, Larry? You a Scotch drinker?
No, sir.
Fine.
Well,
And I like tequila.
I don't drink.
Oh, you don't drink?
No.
But don't attack our sponsors for crying out loud.
I'm just saying. But their food is real good.
Yes. Excellent comeback, really is. The food is terrific. And Larry, you had a filet, didn't you, from Bourbon and Barley's?
No, I had the Cajun chicken and noodles.
He's not going to admit it. I thought I had him there, Rich. He ate our stinking filet.
No.
That filet I brought the first day? You ate it all by yourself?
Yeah.
Well, nobody was going to eat it, so I ate it.
Oh, he just said it.
Seafood go. Didn't your mama tell you children in China was starving to clean that plate?
Yeah, but I'll say this, though, Logan, that Larry mentioned the chicken. The grilled chicken is tremendous.
Yes.
And grilled chicken is not tremendous everywhere. Some of it tastes like rubber. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A good solid hunk of rubber on a plate. They might throw a sauce on it, make it taste real good. But we actually throw a sauce and cheese and bacon jam on ours, and it already tastes good.
Now, tell me about the bacon jam, because that is fantastic. Is that, you guys do make that up right there?
Yeah. Almost every day, yeah.
So is it jam and bacon? I mean, just like the name says?
It's almost like a sugar and bacon reduction. So you take, like with any other jam, you take water and sugar and fruit and reduce it down until it's nice and thick. And so that's kind of what we do with that, and reduce it down to that thick, congealed sort of bacony state. So it's a little sweet, a little salty, still maintain some of the crunch as well. So that's good.
Okay, so Rich, any questions come up yet you want to ask Logan?
I'll say I'm interested in that bacon jam. That sounds pretty good.
It is fantastic. I just think you cook. You look like somebody that would be a very good cook. Is that true?
I cook quite a bit.
That's what I thought. So how would, well, you can't give away the recipe, but what can you tell us about that?
Basically, pretty much what I just kind of said with the sugar and bacon, and there might be some other seasonings and a little bit of a reduction.
There might be some other seasonings.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a real good accompaniment to it. I like to do big, heavy beef ribs on the smoker.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got that big old handle out there for bone, looks like a tomahawk steak.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had some of that to go with that, sound of a wiping sauce on the ribs. That'd be real.
That would be fantastic. Yes, it would. Now, there's also, Logan's with us. He's with Bourbon and Barley's Restaurant. And the address for that, it was right across the street from Union University, the Starbucks, it sits there, kind of at just past the corner of the bypass in Orwell, or Union University Drive, is what I should say. The official address.
1037 Union University Drive.
It's in the old Mulligan's.
Yeah.
The original, Mulligan's has moved down the road. So in the hours?
Hours, we are open Sunday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday, we stay open a little bit later until 11 p.m. And I think we're still kind of working on Sundays. Sundays are a little bit of a slower day for us, so I think we've been kind of altering the hours on Sunday, and we might close at 9 for the foreseeable future.
Okay, that's okay. That's a good. You got time to get in there, but the NCAA tournaments is happening right now. And I tell you, Rich, they have all brand new TVs all over Bourbon and Barley's. There's not a bad seat in the house when it comes to the televisions. They are all high definition, all just gorgeous, and they're in color, Larry. And so you can watch the NCAA tournament. Tennessee plays tomorrow. What time tomorrow does Tennessee play? I'll look and see. But we're going to go down and watch Tennessee play Duke tomorrow in the NCAAs, for crying out loud. And it's going to be the official home for the Memphis Grizzlies playoff run as well.
Yes, sir.
So I'm telling you, it is fantastic. And, there's a restaurant side, and there's a a bar side that is really cool, isn't it?
It is. We like to kind of separate it in our minds as almost two different functioning restaurants. As the bar side, we kind of treat as the social hangout area. And then you've got the dining side where, of course, you can sit down, have your nice romantic dinner. It's very dimly lit over there. So you kind of have that
it
little
sets the tone,
moment.
Rich. Then you add in Johnny Walker Red, and it's if you play your cards right, could be a good night.
It's true. Finish it off with some dessert. I actually brought some dessert with me today. I got a chocolate cake.
What?
And I brought a chocolate cake for y'all, and we have a secret staff menu item. One of my cooks in the back, Gabby, decided that she had had enough of cleaning for the day and decided that she was going to make a turtle cheesecake because we have all the stuff to make it. So I brought y'all a turtle cheesecake from our secret staff menu.
You are kidding. How about that, Rich? Logan's thoughtful guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you didn't bring Larry anything? That's okay. That's good. Larry? I feel like we're bothering him.
No, Duke and Tennessee play Saturday at 1:40 on CBS.
No, on 96.5.
Well,
unless they're willing to promote us as well. Give the ball a game. Geez, no, thank you. It's 1:45 Central Time, right?
Yes.
If that didn't sound shaky, Rich, I don't know what. So Tennessee and Duke play tomorrow afternoon right here on 96.5 FM and across our platforms, our social media platforms, and newstalk965.com. You can watch there. And while you're at newstalk965.com, you'll see over to the right of the screen, download our free apps. They fit Apple, they fit Android. Our mobile apps are free, and you can watch the programs live, or you can listen live on our free mobile apps. And what are we, Larry? Over 5,000 subscribers now to our TuneIn Radio app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We really appreciate that. Don't forget now the 2023 Jackson City mayoral debate is coming up Thursday night, live at the Jackson Northside High School Auditorium. That's a beautiful auditorium, isn't it, Larry?
It is.
Fantastic. We'll be there for that. You can watch it on our apps. You can watch it at newstalk965.com. Or you can listen right here on Newstalk 96.5 FM from the Gene Langley Ford Studio in Jackson, Tennessee. That's where we broadcast. Gene Langley Ford, the dealership is at 3500 Eastern Drive in Humboldt. And now straddling Eastern Drive on one side of the street is the new car division. On the other side, the pre-owned division of Gene Langley Ford. And with any new car, truck, or SUV purchase, you get a lifetime warranty with that vehicle. That's stout, and that is confidence in what you sell. And that's the Gene Langley Ford way. It's the dealership that service truly built. GeneLangleyFord.com, a family-owned and operated Gene Langley Ford. Okay, so we can do takeout as well from Bourbon and Barley's.
Of course.
You can call 731-574-9212. You can order online as well, right?
You got Tinto cups there?
We do. We do. We do. We had somebody ask last night for a to-go beer, and I was like, sir, we don't have the stickers to seal it yet, but we might do that. I don't know, because I think it's technically still legal to do that if you seal it up real tight.
Okay. Well, now, Rich, here's some items on the menu that really stood out to us. Because we tried just about everything on the menu.
I know. I was trying to think of what to bring y'all, and I couldn't think. And then I remembered y'all haven't had any desserts yet.
And I like your style. I really do. It's hard to get. Where can you go get a great deviled egg at a nice restaurant? Bourbon and Barley's.
Speaking of deviled eggs, I was at John Rich's house for an event in Nashville.
If you name dropping.
Yeah, well, but they had the absolute best deviled egg I've ever eaten, and they had people out there just walk around with deviled eggs on a tray. Mm-hmm. That was the best thing I put in my mouth in a long time.
Did you slam some deviled eggs?
I did.
I love them too, man.
And the young lady that was bringing them out said, "I love to see a man with an appetite." And so she just kept bringing them. I kept eating them.
Keep them coming, lady. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the traditional deviled eggs with bourbon, bacon, jam, and chive thrown in there too. Oh.
It's a great combination.
Whatever. Well, okay, loaded waffle fries. Those are fantastic. Do you have is there like a item on the menu you want to highlight, or do you have a favorite? I have a hard time picking a favorite because I just love everything I've tried.
I mean, it's every time I've gone to a table and they've asked me what I love, one of my favorite items on the menu is probably the ahi tuna entree. It's like a blackened ahi tuna steak.
Yep, I've had that. That's
over
fantastic.
the cheese grits with a roasted red pepper cream sauce and then chives for a garnish. It's something that, for me, you don't really think about cheese and fish going together harmoniously a lot of the time, and it just works. It's a jalapeno pimento cheese grit with tuna, and it's just so good, and I can't figure out why it works.
Well, don't even think about it. It just works. Now, Rich, you'll appreciate this with your time in Texas. I love brisket, and when brisket's done right, it is so good. They've got smoked briskets there, and tell him about that because it is fantastic.
We do. We've got our smoked brisket. We do a bourbon barbecue sauce with it. We also serve it with house-made pickles that we kind of brine ourselves with garlic. And it's always really fun if you get a pickle that also has just a big old garlic chunk attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got those. We do our own pickled red onions as well. And we serve the brisket on sliders. We also serve it on pizza. So you've got a couple different options and ways to get it right now.
The taco pizza, I've tried that. That's fantastic.
Duck egg rolls.
Duck egg rolls.
Yes. You like
Say
duck?
no more.
You like duck? Yes, it's fantastic. Duck egg rolls at Bourbon and Barley's.
Yep. Chipotle cherry glaze to dip them in. Can't go wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, all this at Bourbon and Barley's. Bourbon and Barley's, whether you'd like to dine in or if you'd like carry out, you can. We don't mind. Whatever you want to do is fine by us. The address is 1037 Union University Drive, right across the street from Union University, right there where the Starbucks is sitting in front of Union, right across the street. It's the old Mulligan's location, and everybody knows where that's at, right? And the renovation is complete, man. It is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Only thing we've got left to do is put that patio out there.
Oh, man, I love a patio. Don't you, Rich? Oh,
it's going to be a great spot for people watching because it faces Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah. It'll be the freak show. Yeah. Sit out there and throw back we can sit out there, Larry, and sip on some, I'll sip on Johnny Walker Red. You can sip on some Evan Williams there and watch the freak show. Absolutely. Logan, I tell you, in the desserts, what you brought today, what else on the menu as far as desserts go?
We've got chocolate cake and rainbow cake from Sugary's Bakery.
What? I didn't realize that. Okay, that is fan. What is his name with Sugary's?
Oh, man, if you hadn't asked me, I might would have known.
Do you remember, Larry, the guy's name was Sugary's? That is fantastic. Okay, we're talking local. Some very special stuff, Rich.
Yeah.
Very talented people.
Yeah. And I didn't know that the rainbow cake, each layer was a different flavor. I had no idea until somebody came in and told me, and I was like, wait, what? I just thought it was a
it works. It really works.
It's a different thing. We've also got two different cobblers, apple cobbler and pecan cobbler. And then we've got cheesecake. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
You can't.
I love some cheesecake. Don't you, Rich?
Too much.
Rich, it's okay. All right, Rich is going into a diabetic coma. Just hearing us talk about this.
More
Man.
sugar than I'll eat in a year. We just talked about.
You don't eat a lot of sugar? Does that mean you're not going to try this dessert? What'd you bring, Logan?
I did not say that. Two different things.
Richard Archie's here. Tennessee Firearms Association. We're about to get back into that talk because there's a lot of legislation we need to talk about. And Rich,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you for coming over today. You made my day. Called me up earlier today and said, I'm coming on the show today. Just going to let you know. I said, sure, Rich. You could if you wanted to. You know that, right?
I do.
Yeah. And we need to go over to Bourbon and Barley soon. Have some lunch. And you said you've not visited yet, right?
Sounds good.
Let me take you there for your first time.
Oh, I wish y'all were able to get over there by 5. We're going to start up our St. Patty's Day celebration at 5.
Oh, but okay, so you better head out there. It's 4:42 right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, what else is going to be happening at St. Patty's Day celebration? Bourbon and Barley's?
We're going to, for the whole weekend, we're doing, while supplies last, we've got Poppy's. It's a Pilsner from Grind.
I love it when
Grind
you call
City.
me Big Poppy. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Of course, it's dyed green. So we've got green beer. We've got the Lucky Leprechaun Shooter. We're going to run that for $6. And then we've got a $7 cocktail featuring the Proper 12 Apple, since they were so gracious to send us a bunch of hats, shirts, arm sleeves. And like 2 different kinds of hats. So we've got that for $7 for some drink specials, and we'll be running that all weekend. So come and check us out tonight, Saturday, or Sunday.
Logan, it's fantastic. We love Bourbon and Barley's.
We love y'all.
And we'll be there live a week from today, 3 till 6. It'll be a big weekend, too, because we're headed right into the NCAA tournament. That would be the Sweet 16 weekend next weekend.
Yes, sir.
Boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Rich is, right now, he is addicted to middle school volleyball.
Correct.
For girls.
Okay.
His granddaughter
Nice.
plays, and Rich does not miss a game.
Well, I had to miss last night because I had a TFA meeting, but I kind of got drubbed for it. But
Well, at least you feel bad about it, don't you? Did she get on you for that?
no, but the wife did.
I wish you would tape that and just let me enjoy watching that. Really.
Lord.
That's as close as you're going to get, too.
I've called Jody Pickens. Come on over. I want you to watch this with me. I got the popcorn. Logan, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
It's always good to see you. Bourbon and Barley's is at 1037 Union University Drive, right across the street from Union University, where the Starbucks that's right there in front of Union, right across the street. That's Bourbon and Barley's. We'll be right back, and we'll get into our conversation once again with Richard Archie concerning firearm legislation and the state of Tennessee. And Rich can go a number of different routes, and we'll take him on we'll call it the comeback tour. Wouldn't you say, Larry? Do you have some questions for Rich?
Not right now. We're going to a break.
Yeah, we heard about that, Larry. But what I'm saying is you could tease what you were going to ask him. You're not getting out of here without asking him a question. Don't let him intimidate you like this. If you need to,
build the suspense.
I know. If you feel better, crawl under the table. That's fine. But he's not leaving until the show's over. I'm telling you.
I'm enjoying watching him, listening to him.
But you're not camouflaged. He sees you. He will attack you if you ask.
Only when I stick my head out, kind of like a turtle.
All right. We'll be right back here, folks. It is 47 degrees. It's 4:45. It's Friday afternoon, and we are so pleased that you're with us here on News Talk 96.5 FM. And when we come back, we will open the phone lines up. The CWA phone lines. The phone number to join us here is 731-265-6496, 731-265-6496. And when it comes to renovations, nobody does it better than CWA. What all do they do? We'll run that down for you when we return here on the program, because they've got a big job for a friend of mine. And I tell you, you do not want to find yourself in this position. But they responded quickly, CWA, and they're going to be on the scene in a matter of hours to try and to restore some semblance of normalcy after a ceiling collapse. We'll tell you that story next. And don't forget now, coming up, Thursday night, it's March the 23rd. Can you believe it? March is almost in the rearview mirror, Larry. It's incredible. Does it go fast, Rich, for you, too? It's
absolutely ridiculous how quick it goes.
It's amazing. Can you believe it's 2023 for crying out? What year were you born, Logan?
1990.
Oh, jeez. Yes, 1990. Lord of mercy. It's youth is wasted on the young. That's not an attack on you. It's a general statement. Jackson State Community College hosting its 13th annual Women's History Month events. And there's a lot of events going on. We'll run those down for you as well when we return, because we are all about local. That's That's our business model.
Local.
Local. We talk local and the things that are important to you and that affect you here in Jackson and all across West Tennessee. 447, it's 47 degrees. We'll be right back, and you'll want to tune in, and you may have questions. And if you do have questions, because it is a bit confusing, Rich, some of the legislation right now going on in Nashville, and the map that you brought really surprised me. This map is a color-coded map, and we're going to put this on our website, if you don't mind. Hey, Logan, it may surprise you. Let's take a look at this together. These are the states that long gun carry as a right. You can see in the green, allowed as a right. That's most of the United States, when you say.
42 states.
42 states. The blue is allowed by permit only. That's California, Minnesota, and what is that, Rhode Island? No, it's Massachusetts, along with Hawaii. The red, not allowed except under license. I'm surprised for a couple of states here, Florida and Tennessee.
Yeah, that makes little to no sense.
New York State, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C., Florida and Tennessee. It'd be the only time ever that all those states and D.C. have aligned on a political issue.
You're correct.
Yep.
This is facts.
But you know who we got to thank for that?
Who?
Our General Assembly.
Have you voiced your displeasure?
Yeah.
It's called a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, I want you to talk about that. We'll be right back here on the program. Stay right there. It's 47 degrees. Tonight, we'll dip down to 27 degrees. There's another frost warning in effect until mid-morning tomorrow. Be right back.
They say consistency is the key to success. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently refreshing and light? Michelob Ultra, only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson. News Talk 96.5 FM will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. The debate will begin at 6:30. All 6 qualified candidates for this mayoral race will be participating. News Talk 96.5 wants you, our listeners, to participate by submitting your What Do You Want to Know questions on our website. News Talk 96.5 will select a series of your submitted questions to be included and presented to the candidates in the live debate. Log on to newstalk965.com and submit your questions in the space provided. We invite you to attend the debate and hear the answers to the questions from each of the candidates for Jackson City Mayor. News Talk 96.5 FM and newstalk965.com will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. For more information, call our office at 731-800-6397.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Hi, I'm
Terica Smith, a local attorney and proud JMCSS graduate, but I'm also a JMCSS parent. We chose Jackson Madison County Schools for educational options that are innovative and challenging. Whether it's the Academic Academy at Northeast or early college and career opportunities at JCM Early College High, JMCSS offers classes and programs that will prepare my son for college and beyond. Plus, JMCSS is a Level 5 district and tuition free. It just makes sense.
Hi, I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for the Jackson-Madison County School System. With an increased focus in the fine arts, athletics, workforce development, and early career opportunities for students, there's never been a better time to choose us. Tuition-free, Jackson-Madison County Schools. Visit jmcss.org today to schedule a tour or call 731-345-7011.
Hey y'all, this is Mary at Mulligan's. Come see us soon before the new wears off. Hard to believe, but we're coming upon an anniversary in our locally family-owned business at Union University Drive. We still have our daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will remind you of Grandma's cooking. Or try our Irish dishes, fish and chips, Reuben's and shepherd's pie, or everyone's favorite, the Mully Burger. And how about brunch on Saturdays and Sundays? Yep, every weekend, serving Jackson for over 25 years. See you soon at Mulligan's.
Is your office or home office in need of a new printer, copier, fax, or multifunction machine? Do you need business cards, envelopes, or office supplies? Are you looking to upgrade to new office furniture? Office World Incorporated in Trenton has been serving all of the Gibson County and the West Tennessee area for over 65 years. Office World is a franchise partner of OfficeZilla. Call today, 731-855-9131, or email officeworldinc@gmail.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Wake up with Wood. Daybreak with Greg Wood. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on 96.5 FM and newstalkwtn.com.
King Jewelers is not your typical jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. Custom-made jewelry to suit the most discriminating taste. Or you can redesign an old piece that's just sitting in a jewelry box. Create something completely new and unique. Grover has over 40 years experience as a certified jeweler. Visit KingJewelerJackson.com. King Jewelers at 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson. Follow King Jewelers Jackson on social media for special savings.
Watch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on NewsTalkWestTennessee.com.
See all the Memphis legends, Jerry the King Lawler, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Superstar Bill Dundee, along with stars of today, the Mid-South Prodigy Bam Bam Bundy, MJ Davis, Mr. Marvelous Mike Mayo, Insane Dane, Big Gravy, The Rocket Josh Benson, Lucky P. Larson, and many, many more. You can also view TCW on the News Talk West Tennessee app for all your Apple and Android devices.
Catch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday at noon on NewsTalkWTN.com.
What do you think he'll get you this year? Candy? Flowers?
No, I was thinking something more sparkly.
Wow, congratulations. How many carats do you think he'll spring forward?
Girl, forget the ring. I want some of that shiny 45 Automark bling.
At 45 Automark, get a jewelry box full of $1,000 savings just by walking in and saying,
"Show me the bling."
We've had an 18-year clean Carfax successful marriage to our customers, and to keep the romance alive, we're taking $1,000 off so our relationship thrives. Say,
"Show me the bling,"
and carry this loaded leather sunroof Honda CRV over the threshold for $11,900. Or pick up this 60,000-mile 2020 Chevy Colorado for just $21,900. Don't fall for Mr. Megadigger with a sappy sales spiel and false love sting when every drive-in your Forever 45 ride will give you the feels like a sweet romance with $1,000 off because you said,
"Show me the bling."
So call 989-8059 or come to 45 Automark today. Wear your $1,000 off the perfect for you ride with that love's in bloom at first sight feeling that'll make you swoon and leave you reeling. Dealer!
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Get all the latest news, talk, weather, and sports. NewsTalkWTN.com and 96.5 FM.
On the program, Dan Reeves. Larry Newman is in the house, and ain't no doubt. Hello, Newman. Jeez, Larry. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Larry Newman is in the house, and ain't no doubt. Richard Archie's here, Tennessee Firearms Association. Rich, we're almost at the top of the hour. We got about 30 seconds. TFA, would it be fair to say TFA is to Tennessee what the NRA is to the country? Say again, please.
I said far better than what the NRA is.
I would
for the
say
simple fact that we're an all-volunteer organization. Talk about local. We're local people.
If you need something, in other words, you can get a hold of Richard Archie with a TFA.
That's correct.
That is correct. I know that for a fact. We'll be right back. Stand by for news, and then Richard Archie. We've got a lot of legislation to talk about next.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. China's leader heading to Moscow, an apparent show of support for Vladimir Putin.
Will visit Russia from Monday to Wednesday amid sharpening east-west tensions over the conflict in Ukraine. Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine is expected to dominate discussions. China has sought to project itself as neutral in the conflict, even while in 2022 Beijing declared it had a no-limits friendship with Russia and has refused to condemn Moscow's invasion. The Kremlin says next week's visit will take place at the invitation of Vladimir Putin. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
In the meantime, the International Criminal Court issuing an arrest warrant for Putin for war crimes because of his abduction of children from Ukraine. Also at townhall.com, California's 11th atmospheric river has flooded roadways, caused landslides, and toppled trees. Residents are still struggling to clean up before the next round of rough weather. Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley says the county has been racked by storm damage.
In addition to this hillside slide and the impact to these residents, the displacement to these residents, the impact to the property owners here, we also are seeing across Orange County upwards of $4 million in damage just as of today, and that's just since March 9th.
The audio courtesy of ABC 7 Los Angeles. More fierce storms likely in the region later in the week. In Missouri, a sheriff and 2 deputies have been arrested. They're in jail, facing charges that accuse them of helping a man in a parental kidnapping plot. Missouri State Highway Patrol has arrested Iron County Sheriff Jeff Burkett. More on these stories at townhall.com.
To my newborn baby boy, the day you arrived was one of the happiest days of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV from that guy on the internet and insured it with Progressive. What a deal. Just know, son, I'll always be here for you. And by here, I mean in the middle of absolutely nowhere. In my RV.
Protect your baby with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at ReliefFactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com. Be the next success story.
A push in Congress for legislation that would make it easier for the White House to ban the use of TikTok. Correspondent Jackie Quinn says the Fed's now expressing concerns TikTok's parent company could be ordered to release personal and professional data about its users.
Both the FBI and the Federal Communications Commission have warned that parent company ByteDance could be forced to share user data like browsing history, location, and even biometric identifiers with China's authoritarian government. And they would be required to if they're asked under Chinese law. China's foreign ministry is accusing the U.S. of spreading disinformation about TikTok.
Ford recalling 1.5 million vehicles in the U.S. to fix leaky brake hoses, as well as damage to some involving windshield wiper arms. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. In Mexico, a 14-year-old boy accused of being a hitman in a drug-related shooting incident is under arrest. Donna Warder explains.
The boy is nicknamed Chapito, or Little Chapo, after the imprisoned drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Authorities near Mexico City allege that in January, the boy rode up on a motorcycle and opened fire on a family holding a birthday party in a Mexico City suburb, killing 8 people and leaving 5 adults and 2 children wounded. A man was also arrested in the killings, and 7 other members of the gang were arrested on drug charges. The motive for the killings has not been made public. I'm Donna Warder.
Wall Street ending the week on a down note. The Dow today was off 384 points. S&P 500 down 43. The NASDAQ lost 86 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
News Talk 96.5 FM will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. The debate will begin at 6:30. All 6 qualified candidates for this mayoral race will be participating. News Talk 96.5 wants you, our listeners, to participate by submitting your What Do You Want to Know questions on our website. News Talk 96.5 will select a series of your submitted questions to be included and presented to the candidates in the live debate. Log on to newstalk965.com and submit your questions in the space provided. We invite you to attend the debate and hear the answers to the questions from each of the candidates for Jackson City Mayor. News Talk 96.5 FM and newstalk965.com will be hosting a City of Jackson mayoral debate on Thursday, March 23rd at Northside High School Auditorium. For more information, call our office at 731-800-6397.
What's better than 20% over invoice, or 15% over invoice, or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? Wait, did I just say 0% over invoice? Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. As your authorized Ford ordering dealer, Gene Langley Ford, in partnership with Ford Motor Company, is accepting new orders at cost. So our price is your price. There's never been a better time to order your new Ford. Come see us today for details, and let's get your new Ford car, truck, or SUV on its way to your driveway. Struggling with credit issues? Not here. Our finance department can work magic to get you approved. Plus, every new Ford comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. And if you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, check out the great selection on our lot and online. Updated daily at GeneLangleyFord.com. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service bill.
At cost offer excludes Mustang GT500 and Raptor. See dealer for warranty information.
Hey y'all, this is Mary at Mulligan's. Come see us soon before the new wears off. Hard to believe, but we're coming upon an anniversary in our locally family-owned business at Union University Drive. We still have our daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will remind you of Grandma's cooking, or try our Irish dishes, fish and chips, Reuben's and shepherd's pie, or everyone's favorite, the Mully Burger. And how about brunch on Saturdays and Sundays? Yep, every weekend, serving Jackson for over 25 years. See you soon at Mulligan's.
Looking to add a little spice to your love life?
Nothing adds spice like gunpowder.
Jackson's only indoor shooting range, date night at the range. Here's what you lovebirds get: a shooting lane for two targets, 100 rounds of ammo, eye and ear protection, and a $30 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse. All for just $99.99.
Now that's firepower.
Perfect for a gift card from the range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Take us with you wherever you go. Download our free apps for Apple and Android. Visit newstalkwtn.com. Then click to download.
Good Friday afternoon. It is a pleasure to have you along with us here on the Dan Reeves Show. My name is Dan Reeves. Larry Newman is here. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Reeves.
Larry Newman is in the hizzy. And somebody let Richard Archie up in here with the Tennessee Firearms Association. Going to try and find out where he stands on some issues and try to get him from straddling the stinking fence. Richard Archie is here. In which we get people sending around the phone lines that may want to talk with you. You can join us. The phone number to get in is 731-265-6496, 731-265-6496 if you'd like to join us on the program. And the phone line sponsored by CWA. And we're talking commercial and residential renovation. And I've got a lot more information on those people because they are fantastic with over 80 years experience under their belts. Let's get to the phone lines, and you'll lead us off this hour here on the Dan Reeves Show. You're on the air. Go.
Do you have C. Richard Archie there?
Oh, jeez. You recognize this voice?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? It's your best friend. You know, you keep bringing him up at Jody Pickens.
Oh, that is Joe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have I'm still at the office. Got a lot going on, but I just wanted to call in and say that, before I'd never heard anybody chew on Dan the way Richard is, and he's doing it. He's doing it again this afternoon.
Well, it's a target-rich environment. That's all I can say.
There's a lot to work with there. I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Man,
There's a lot to work with.
Jody, don't encourage him, for crying out loud, would you? I just got him settled down. We had to bring Logan in, put him between us. and he started talking about chocolate cake, and Rich got distracted. And now here we go again.
Well, I know you two Milan boys get along. Y'all love each other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it sounds. He still loves you, Dan. I know he does.
I love Richard
It's
Archie.
absolutely the truth. But, that's what we do is we chastise the ones that we love when they need it.
Richard loves me. Going by that barometer, he loves me. No, I love Richard. I got a lot of respect for him. And there's not many people that will react the way he does, and it's fantastic. I don't miss an opportunity with Rich to let him attack me, and I see that you don't miss an opportunity to call in and rub my nose in it. So, Jody, I'm glad to know that.
Well, I just want to let just know that Richard has my support. Wanted him to know that. It was more about him and less about you, man.
That's a preemptive strike, is what they call it, to disarm Richard.
You're not having a good afternoon, are you, Dan?
No, tell you what, though, but you and Larry included three of my favorite human beings. Jody, it's great to hear from you, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Hope y'all have a great St. Patrick's Day and have a great weekend, okay?
You too, Jody, and please, I know you've been very busy lately, but stop by and see us when you can, okay?
Yeah, well, things settle down a little bit. I sure will be glad to do that.
Great, and you keep up the great work, Jody, okay?
All right, will do. Take care.
See you, Jody. That's our district attorney, and I tell you, he's one of the finest human beings out there, period.
Let me tell you what Jody does. He lets me call him and talk to him about the things that I'm concerned about. And I don't think he's ever not returned my call or taken. I mean, of course, there are days when he can't get to me right then.
Right.
Jody is a great resource of information, and he's truly smart. He knows the law. And when I get some harebrained wild schemes in my mind.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah, but I'll call him and he'll get me kind of settled down and say, no, this is what you can and can't do. You'd like to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can. And so he's a great resource, and I really appreciate him. And what he's doing is a really good job for this district as our district attorney.
Absolutely. And we've been close friends for so long. And sometimes I think, it just doesn't seem fair to be longtime friends with the district attorney. And I know I couldn't call him to make a parking ticket go away. But that's how he is.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make a parking ticket go away.
No, what he will say is what he said to his brother. Did you violate the parking law? Yes. Then pay the ticket, I believe is what Philip said. He said. That's Jody.
Sounds just like him right there.
But you do know that you will receive fair treatment.
That's
no
correct.
matter who you are, right?
That's right.
I tell you, I'm proud of Jody. He's a great guy, wonderful human being.
We're well served by having him as our district attorney.
Absolutely. Don't you agree, Larry?
I agree.
Man, I tell you, Richard and I would love a piece of cake if you got a minute, Larry.
Well, what I do want to do before you sign her off and forget to let me finish what I was talking about.
That's fair enough, Rich.
Okay. What we're going to do is we were talking about regulating. And you said you had somebody that said, well, it means they can regulate arms. This is what the Supreme Court said.
Okay.
And Mr. Scalia, who was at that time Chief Justice of
Right.
the Supreme Court, said, finally, the adjective.
Tony.
What now?
Tony Scalia, Anthony.
Yes. The adjective well-regulated implies nothing more than the imposition of proper discipline and training to adjust by rule or method. A well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people trained to arms. So what it says is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, because in the end, what they have to do is they have to rely on this. I was actually in a committee meeting in Nashville a week and a half or 2 weeks ago now, and one of the gentlemen on the dais up there, one of the representatives, said, in the War of 1812, there was no militia that showed up, and we just kind of all dropped our mouths open and said, what? And this gentleman represents Old Hickory. Now, you have to keep that in mind. Old Hickory is who? That's Andrew Jackson,
Andrew
right?
Jackson, and on his deathbed said what he thought was his greatest accomplishment was what? Do you know?
What?
On his deathbed, he said he was most proud of what accomplishment?
Bearing the Bank of America or something like that.
And The central bank, yes.
The central bank, yeah.
Yeah, and he did. They brought it back. They said, boys, we can't bring it back under the same name because Andrew Old Hickory put a rented mule on us. Let's call it the Federal Reserve. These people are stupid. They'll think it's a part of the government.
Right.
Didn't they, Rich?
That's correct, and it's not. But what you have to understand that in Tennessee at that time in the War of 1812, there was no standing army, period. And the people who were responsible for repelling the British invasion at that point was the militia from Tennessee under Coffee and Carroll, who were the people who Jackson relied on, along with David Crockett. They went down into the Horseshoe Bend area of Alabama and defeated the Red Sticks and turned around and marched from Pensacola, Florida then all the way over to New Orleans and defeated the best the British had to offer. They sent the soldiers that had just defeated Napoleon at Waterloo, brought them over here, and the Tennesseans turned them around and sent them home. And it was all private citizens with their own personal weapons.
That was
This guy
remarkable,
saying-
too, buddy. That was, I am very familiar with that battle. That was remarkable.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because they
we
had the
killed
Navy.
over 800 people in the first hour of that, and we lost 26.
And they had essentially the Navy. We didn't have a Navy. They had the Navy, right?
So, the whole point of the matter is that you would not have a republic. You wouldn't have a United States if it wasn't for the militia and what they say in the Supreme Court about that codicil is that a well-regulated militia just simply means that they're practicing arms. It doesn't have anything to do with regulating the right.
Right. Okay.
So we've cleared that up, and
I am so with you, Richard. And once anyone that don't get it twisted, I mean, Richard Archie and TFA are protecting the rights of law-abiding citizens. Okay, and I truly believe that if you outlaw guns, Rich, who will have guns?
Only criminals.
Outlaws will have.
That's
right. And now I will play devil's advocate with Rich because he deserves to address a lot of the things that are floated around out here, and he will not back up from it. And that's the beauty of having a conversation with Richard Archie. Now, Chris Todd is our state representative. He's working on legislation. What do you know about what Chris Todd is working on, and where do you stand?
Okay, well, we fully support this bill that he and Rusty Grills. It's a
Rusty
group effort
Grills
on their parts.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know I do that, and I know that gets on your nerves, and at some point you're going to lash out. But when I met Rusty Grills for the first time, you and I were up in Union City. A friend of ours, John McMahon, was seeking state representative, right? Is that what he's right? And you want to talk about he would have done such a wonderful job for the people of West Tennessee. As you can tell, I'm still sad that he didn't, and you are too.
I am.
And so I was up there for John and to support him, and this guy walked up with a baseball cap on that said Rusty Grills, and he said, "Hey, how you doing, Dan?" I said, "I'm doing great." I said, "Is that a new line of grills?" I was serious. He said, "That's my name." I said, "You're kidding me." What a great Rusty Grills.
Yeah, well, Rusty and Chris together have worked this thing to the bone. I mean, and they fought every obstacle that you can imagine, but this bill does three things. And I have to preface this by talking about the Bruin decision, which was the Supreme Court case that was just decided this last summer. And what they did was they said that you have an absolute unfettered right as a non-criminal citizen to bear arms in case of confrontation with another, either offensive or defensive, in public. Okay? And so the other thing that they said, and the only method that you can use for scrutiny when it comes to an issue of the Second Amendment is text and history. If it wasn't something that was on the books at the time of the founding, then you can't use it to regulate arms now.
Okay.
Now, that's the ruling that came out in Heller. There's a bunch of other stuff that people have said that it tried to say. And what they talked about is a situation called sensitive places, which said, and Thomas, who was the one who was the actual author of the opinion, said, we're going to agree with what Scalia said in Heller in 2008, that it's not an unfettered right to carry any weapon, any place, any time. Okay? But what they didn't, he said, and there are generally accepted mores, and that's a word that means an understanding of places that you can't carry, government buildings, polling places, schools, courthouses. Okay.
Should there be places like that?
There are, and there are reasons for them.
Are you,
and so
are you
we
okay
don't-
with that?
We don't fight that, with the
But
exception
so
of.
you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
what you have to do is go back to the text and history, which is what they said, and so you have to find the historical analogs at the time, because the latter day outliers, as they put it, that happened after the Civil War, they don't have anything to do with what the actual intent of the Constitution was in 1791.
Okay.
And so they said it had to be on the books in 1791 or you can't have it now. And so that's where we're at in Tennessee. This bill that Chris and Rusty have put together does three things.
Okay.
It removes the criminal aspect of a non-criminal citizen carrying a firearm. Right now, even if you've got a permit, just like you brought your gun in earlier today, you're committing a crime by carrying a loaded firearm in the state of Tennessee under 39-17-13-07A1.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. It says it's an offense for
Okay.
any person to carry a loaded firearm or a club. Now, what they do under your permit is they sell you a defense against prosecution. Okay? That's the way it's parsed. But the law that was put on our books in 1801, making it a crime to carry a gun in Tennessee, is still on our books today. Now, they came back a couple of years ago and did what they call constitutional carry, and it's of sorts. It's actually a permitless carry for some places, for some people, sometime. It's not true constitutional carry, because true constitutional carry would talk about the ability to carry long guns or handguns.
So I'm walking around here thinking I can carry this, pardon me, this gun anywhere I go, and that's not necessarily the case.
No.
Huh.
It's not.
Okay,
And
there's going to be a
it's
lot of
still
people.
crime. If here's what we've
So
got in
I
Tennessee.
could be arrested.
You could. And what you would have to do then, you'd have to surrender your weapon and your permit. You'd spend the night in jail. And then when you got before the judge the next day, because the only time you can raise that defense is at trial. All right. So as they arraign you and bring you up, but you say, Your Honor, I have a permit. And they'd say, well, let me see the permit. You looked at, then if you hadn't done something really bad and it was just because you had a weapon, they would give you your gun back and your permit back and let you go.
But you still spent
That's the
the
whole
weekend
point.
in jail.
We have in Tennessee the ability of law enforcement to do what they did in Germany, which is papers, please.
Right.
So that's still there. So this bill is attempting to take away the criminal aspect of carrying a firearm in Tennessee. That's the first thing. Do away with 13-7A1.
As long as your nose is clean, you're a law-abiding citizen,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
All right. Secondarily, what it does is it removes the stricture of the age. What we have in Tennessee now is you have to be 21 or older to be able to carry a handgun for your self-defense,
That's right.
unless you're a member of the military. Okay?
Right.
So it's not equal protection under the law, because they got some people that are 18 that can carry and others who can't. And so Firearms Policy Coalition, which is another national organization, which is very similar to Second Amendment Foundation or the NRA or GOA or any of those, they sued the state of Tennessee. Jeff Long, who is the commissioner.
Okay. So I tell you that the Tennessean has been spotty with this then.
Yeah, they have been fighting with it for about 4 years or 3 years now, I think. But when we got the new Attorney General, Skermetti, he looked at it and he said, I cannot defend the state of Tennessee on this issue. And it just...
So,
he
in
said
other
that
words, you're going to have to change
an
it.
egregious violation of the civil rights of an 18-year-old that the state of Tennessee has denied him his Second and 14th Amendment rights. It's a violation of federal civil rights. And so, therefore, we agree with the plaintiffs and we're not going to defend this anymore. And so there's actually going to be an agreement between the federal court that was filed in and the state of Tennessee. And so that's going away. This bill actually codifies that by putting it in legislation so that we don't have to wait for the federal government to write that.
Okay, so let me, here's what some of the calls and texts have been saying about this. That 18-year-olds, you really want 18 and 19-year-olds carrying a gun. Their brains are not fully developed. What do you say to that?
I'll say, okay, if you want to say that they're not, then we don't let them sign up for the draft. We don't let them volunteer for the military. We don't let them get married, and we don't let them vote, and we don't let them sign contracts. All those things that the Constitution says their constitutional rights vet at age 18, If you want to move it to 25, move it to 25. If they can't carry a gun, they can't vote.
Now, I've said the same thing. Here's been the rebuttal. Okay, they can get married, yes. They could be injured when they get married, no doubt. But I'm not at risk. They are. It's at that age. Yes, in the military they can carry, but they are under this heavy supervision of drill sergeants, that sort of thing. But just to walk around in here without having training, that sort of a thing, an 18-year-old carrying a gun is maybe a bad idea. It's what I'm hearing. And what do you say to that?
But what they do is they try to parse this stuff. But here's what our Attorney General said in his exact words. The challenge to scheme regulating the possession and carrying of handguns that restricts individuals aged 18 old to 20 years old from carrying handguns or obtaining permits to carry handguns on the basis of age alone violates the 2nd and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution. Now, my
so regardless
to
of
these people that don't want them to do it, get you an amendment going and change the age.
Yeah, so you can disagree with it. You can make some good points about it, but the Constitution is what it is, right? Gotcha.
When you turned 18, the first thing that you had to do is you had to sign up for the draft.
I did.
That's right.
You know where I did that at? The same place you did.
Yep.
At Milan Post Office. You remember those days, Larry?
I remember those days.
Yeah, remember. What year did you graduate high school, Larry?
73.
73, so you just missed Vietnam, right?
Right.
Right.
And I guess you did too, Rich. You just missed it.
We were the last class to be drafted.
So the class of 72 was the last class. Okay. Did you get drafted?
That I didn't get drafted.
Okay.
But had I been drafted, I'd have gone. Absolutely.
Uncle Charlie was drafted. He said that it's when he went for the physical, they didn't straight from the physical when he passed it on the bus to basic training. Yeah. That's the way that went. Ooh, that had to be some nervous, tense moments, didn't it?
Oh man, the lottery when they pulled the draft numbers, I can promise you, every one of us at that age was. You think the Final Four is the big draw? Let me tell you, when they was pulling draft numbers, you was glued, brother.
Yeah, because your life was not your own, right? Right. And by that time, I guess it was pretty much common knowledge. Hey, this may not be exactly what they said it was for, right?
Right.
Lord of mercy, that had to be some. What was that like? Being a teenager, seeing. You recall when Dr. King was assassinated, and certainly RFK. Don't know if you remember when JFK was assassinated.
Well, I'll tell you something that was more instructive to me was the gentleman up the street that was a good friend of mine who went to Vietnam 3 years before I graduated, and he came home in a body bag.
That's real life. That makes it real, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. We all went, oh, crap. You know,
Vietnam seemed a long way from here, but that brought it home.
It did. Now, with all those things being said, we've agreed that that's what the Constitution calls for now with an age restriction. It's 18. Like I said, if you want to get enough people together and do a constitutional amendment and change that, then okay, good, go for it. That's what we have to do on the stuff that we want to do. We've got to go to the legislature and we have to go to a vote.
Yeah, Rich, but most people are not willing to work as hard as you do. Let me tell you
push
the easy
with
button.
This Bruen decision, I want to run a couple of cases that have come out since then because post-Bruin's very instructive. This is a case in Oklahoma,
right,
where a guy had a handgun in his seat and a half a pound of marijuana. Of course, they arrested him and carried him to jail because you can't be in possession of a firearm and drugs, right?
It's not a good combination, no.
No longer should lower courts evaluate firearms restrictions by deferring to the determinations of legislatures, because while that judicial deference to legislative interest balancing is understandable and elsewhere appropriate, it is not the deference that the Constitution demands. And while end justifies the means rationalizations should generally be understood as antithetical to the rule of law, Bruen now leaves no doubt that such rationalizations have no place in our Second Amendment jurisprudence. That's one, and that was over a cat getting caught with a gun and some marijuana.
Okay.
Let's talk about the
so
one
what exactly does that mean? How would that affect now the guy with the gun and the marijuana?
Portion of 922G unconstitutional at that
so
point.
They let him go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There's another
You
case.
agree with that?
Huh?
You agree with that?
I do.
Okay.
All right.
Same here.
And why? because they said there wasn't no laws about marijuana at the time of the founding.
Hey, you're consistent, Rich. I've told you that 100 times right across the board. You are. That's agree or disagree with you, folks. You must respect that. I mean, right, Larry?
You're right.
Larry, you're consistent. Larry, you're consistently. I should. I almost said brain dead. I don't mean that. So Larry while Rich was looking through his files, I thought I'd take the time to see what it was like to attack somebody.
Let me tell you about another case in Western District Court of Texas.
Can you tease it, and then we get to it after the timeouts?
Sure. What this does is it talks about why, what, and how the Second Amendment's been treated by courts and by state governments.
Is it good, bad, or indifferent?
From my point of view, it's absolutely excellent, and I think once you hear what this guy had to say, you'll agree.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we return. And we've got some updates out of Nashville with some legislation, and we'll take a look at that as well. We will update the weather for you. Right now, it's 47 degrees, and it's bright and it's sunny outside. Isn't it gorgeous out there? Look at we've got some trees in bloom out there, Rich. And what a beautiful scene looking out the windows here. Just natural environment of West Tennessee. Well, I mean, in an auto zone. The mother of all auto zones is across. You ever shop in there? That's huge. AutoZone. That's AutoZone baby daddy right there. That is ground zero. And Larry, are you okay over there?
I'm okay.
You don't feel engaged like you normally are.
I'm sitting here waiting on his every word.
You see what you've done to this man's nerves.
I'm not nervous at all.
You should be.
It's very interesting.
I'm nervous, and I've known him forever.
Yeah, but
I know he's not going to hurt me, but I'm still nervous. Richard Archie is here, and I'm not nervous. He's a great American. He's a great friend of ours. With the Tennessee Farms Association, Richard Archie is in the house. You should have brought John with you today, John McMahon.
Well, I didn't know I was coming till late this afternoon, or I would have.
I got you. I'd love to see John.
Now, can you imagine John on one side of you and me on the other?
Oh, I tell you, John is. I could stand it. He's a little bit more reserved. A little bit.
But on this one, I can tell you I had a conversation with him 2 weeks ago on the telephone, and I told Christina she needed to go get some cold water and throw on him because he was fired.
No, he's a passionate man. He really is, and it's because he cares. He is genuine. I tell you that. One of the finest people I've ever met, John McMahon.
He's solid.
He's a business partner with a guy I've known forever, Jeff Matheny, and Jeff don't just trust anybody. You got to earn his respect. I'm still trying to get it.
You're just lost over there, aren't you?
50 years.
You're digging and looking.
Before you attack me, I just read that this is a clear sign of genius.
Yeah, right. I try to tell them stories too. Hey, and while you're doing it, let me finish up the last thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich. Yes.
Real quick. We said already that it's doing away with the criminal aspect of carrying a firearm. It's doing away with the 18 to 20-year-old restriction. The third thing it does, it takes care of that map that I showed. It allows long guns into the permissible set of weapons that you can carry in Tennessee. And so that's what this bill does, those three things.
Okay.
And it has been a slog. I promise you, Chris and Rusty have bled to get this job to where it's at right now. Now we're ready to go into the Senate on the other side. It's up on notice next week, but I don't know. They got 100 issues to come up, so it's probably not going to get heard next week. It may go to the next. But I don't think that we've got right now the votes in the Senate because we can't get these guys to understand what the Constitution says. They keep saying, well, we don't want to see those long guns in the Walmart.
Well, I tell you, though, that I know you. They're not going to be able to sidestep this issue. They're going to have to address it. And Rich, I appreciate that. We got to get a timeout, and I want to continue. So dial it back just a sec, and then we'll get after them.
Okay, just
when's your granddaughter's next volleyball game?
No, she's done. Last night was the last game of the season, so they're finished.
Man, I'm glad you enjoy that the way you do. I know she loves having you there.
Well, I tend to holler from the crowd, too. So they know I'm there when I'm there.
Larry, does that surprise you that Rich hollers from the crowd?
No, I used to when my daughter played.
Yeah, but I bet it ain't the same. My
voice is just a little higher.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not nearly as intimidating when, you know what I'm saying? They thought you, Rich can influence the zebras is what I'm saying. Hey, Precision Auto Body. It is a fantastic, locally owned and operated business. I tell you, when you start talking about Precision Auto Body, now over a quarter of a century in business, you're not able to do that and continue to grow unless you're doing some fantastic work and you've earned the trust of the people here in West Tennessee. That's exactly what they've done. Over a quarter of a century in business, Precision Auto Body, they've doubled their size over the last few years. They replace headliners and carpeting, complete collision repair on domestic and imports, including BMW and Mercedes, and the type of technology from the Maximus computer to the Weep systems, producing amazing results. Rental cars on site. If you get into an accident, they'll come get your vehicle, pick it up, leave you the rental car, take your car in, repair it, and then deliver it right back to you looking brand new and pick up the rental car. Now, that's customer service. 146 Milan Highway in Medina, Precision Auto Body, 731-783-0075, 731-783-0075, Precision Auto Body, PrecisionAutoBodyTN.com. We'll be right back. Richard Archie is our guest with the TFA, Tennessee Firearms Association. Richard Archie is in the house.
They say consistency is the key to success. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently refreshing and light? Michelob Ultra, only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors at Jackson.
If you're in business, you know just how important each call is. You don't have time for phone or internet downtime. Your business needs a reliable communications partner 24/7. You need Lifeline Voice and Data. Lifeline Voice and Data provides telephone service to emergency service facilities all over West Tennessee and beyond. For your business, we don't just provide a phone line. We provide a lifeline. Lifeline Voice and Data.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors at Jackson.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. We recently celebrated our 20th year in business here in West Tennessee. That's 2 decades of growth for us. We've added to our work family, moved locations a few times, seen our coworkers have kids and grandkids. We've even seen our clients who were kids when we started at their parents' house now call us to take care of their homes. Lots of things change over 20 years, but here's what hasn't. We can still be reached 24 hours a day. We still provide quality, guaranteed termite and pest control service for all of West Tennessee. We still are the go-to company for real estate closing letters. We still provide quality fungus treatments and affordable moisture barriers. We still take care of your bed bugs, brown recluse, and every other pest problem you could have. If you own a home, you need termite protection. And the biggest thing we've learned in 20 years, we need you. Give us a call 24 hours a day for a different kind of experience from a service company. Southeastern, 660-1052. That's Southeastern, 660-1052.
What's better than 20% over invoice or 15% over invoice or 10% over invoice? How about 0% over invoice? Wait, did I just say 0% over invoice? Hi, this is Sarah Beth Langley at Gene Langley Ford in Humboldt. As your authorized Ford ordering dealer, Gene Langley Ford in partnership with Ford Motor Company is accepting new orders at cost. So our price is your price. There's never been a better time to order your new Ford. Come see us today for details and let's get your new Ford car, truck, or SUV on its way to your driveway. Struggling with credit issues? Not here. Our finance department can work magic to get you approved. Plus, every new Ford comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. And if you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, check out the great selection on our lot and online. Updated daily at GeneLangleyFord.com. And remember, March is Ford Truck Month. You really should try Gene Langley Ford before you buy. The dealership service bill.
At cost offer excludes Mustang GT500 and Raptor. See dealer for warranty and financing details.
My name is Steven and I'm 41 years old. I started having problems with my weight, my focus, my energy all around. I spent thousands of dollars a year on supplements trying to get my weight down, and it never worked.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there is an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or creams.
So I got the treatment, and it has been the best decision of my life. I feel great. I'm losing weight. I have more energy. I'm getting stronger in the gym, and I can focus so much better. And I notice that I also sleep better, and I'm always in a good mood. And I believe it's all because of the BioT treatment.
To schedule an appointment to find out if BioTE is right for you, call 731-462-3596. That's 731-462-3596.
96.5 FM. Home of the Dan Reeves Show.
Weekday afternoons, 3 till 6.
King Jewelers is not your typical jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. Custom-made jewelry to suit the most discriminating taste. Or you can redesign an old piece that's just sitting in a jewelry box. Create something completely new and unique. Grover has over 40 years experience as a certified jeweler. Visit KingJewelerJackson.com. King Jewelers at 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson. Follow King Jewelers Jackson on social media for special savings.
Welcome to Hampton Inn & Suites of Jackson. Make yourself at home in any of the 83 rooms or suites. Hampton Inn & Suites exit 83 at I-40 is minutes away from all Jackson destinations like the West Tennessee Healthcare Sportsplex, Casey Jones Village, Jackson Madison County General Hospital, and many industrial complexes. Enjoy free Wi-Fi, free parking, and free hot breakfast. Also a 24-hour fitness and business center. Welcome to West Tennessee. Make your reservations now by calling direct at 731-427-6100 or visit hampton.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently refreshing and light? Michelob Ultra, only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Central Distributors, Jackson.
Watch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on NewsTalkWestTennessee.com.
See all the Memphis legends: Jerry the King Lawler, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Superstar Bill Dundee, along with stars of today: the Mid-South Prodigy Bam Bam Bundy, M.J. Davis, Mr. Marvelous Mike Mayo, Insane Dane, Big Gravy, The Rocket Josh Benson, Lucky P. Larson, and many, many more. You can also view TCW on the News Talk West Tennessee app for all your Apple and Android devices. Catch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday at noon on NewsTalkWTN.com.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there is an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or creams.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Looking to add a little spice to your love life?
Nothing adds spice like gunpowder.
Jackson's only indoor shooting range. Date night at the range. Here's what you lovebirds get: a shooting lane for two targets, 100 rounds of ammo, eye and ear protection, and a $30 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse. All for just $99.99.
Now that's firepower.
Perfect for a gift card from the range. The Range, 2310 North Highland Avenue in Jackson.
Go to therange.com.
It's always severe weather season in West Tennessee. When severe weather strikes, we're here for you. 96.5 FM, News Talk WTN.com.
Standing by, we'll get to those as we broadcast from the Gene Langley Ford studio in Jackson, Tennessee. Gene Langley Ford is at 3500 East End Drive in Humboldt. The dealership is service truly built. You can shop online 24/7 at GeneLangleyFord.com. Build that vehicle from the ground up. Set your service visits, even secure financing at GeneLangleyFord.com. Also, the information that we had somebody text in asking about, who's the renovation service that you mentioned? I'm glad you asked. It's CWA Development. Now, with CWA Development, here's what they do. Essentially, it's you've got 80 years experience that will go to work for you. High quality, personalized service, commercial and residential maintenance, restoration and renovation, fire and water damage restoration, plumbing, gutter, roof, and window cleaning, wood repair. Say your privacy fence took a pounding during Hurricane Katrina. What was it, a couple of weeks ago, Larry? 60-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts. Lordy. And I got a new trampoline out of that deal.
Or a different one anyway.
That's right, Rich. And, I should have mentioned on the air because I've kind of I've attached to that bad boy. So the wood repairs include privacy fences and deck repairs. Maybe time to replace a board or two, and that's what they'll do. Open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays for emergencies at 731-503-9598. CWA Developments, commercial and residential maintenance, restoration, and renovation, fire and water damage restoration, and plumbing. They do it all. I tell you, son, it's 731-503-9598. The local people just doing it better. And I tell you this, Rich, and Larry, we know that we've seen it happen. We got a growth spurt coming. Jackson jumped from like 126,000 up to, what was it, 187,000 in the Jackson Metro, fastest growing city in America. And it's going to continue to grow. There'll be a lot of fly-by-night operations coming in, all right? These people have been here for 80 years, or 80 years experience. They're local people. CWA Developments, save the number because you may not need them today for plumbing. You may not need fire or water damage restoration today. But like Gina, it may be tomorrow. We hope not, but in case, and if you have an emergency, call 731-503-9598. Save that number because you can't plan for an emergency, right? That's why it's an emergency, Larry.
That's right.
Thank you. Finally.
When you wake up and you have ceiling in your coffee, they're the people to call.
That's right. It's no longer the cream in your coffee. It's the ceiling in your coffee. 731-503-9598. CWA Developments. Okay. Couple of notes here. Then we're going to get back to Richard Archie is our guest. Richard is with the TFA, Tennessee Firearms Association. Spring Bible Conference is happening over this weekend at Union University.
March Madness baseball tournaments this weekend. We'll give you some details on that. St. Patrick's Day, live music at Crown Winery, amongst other places like Mulligan's, of course. MulligansJackson.com is the website. Mulligan's is in Thompson Farms. Bourbon and Barley's having a big event tonight as well, right across the street from Union University. Then tomorrow, it's Snow White's Ballet Arts of Jackson. That's tomorrow night. Larry, you going?
No.
I think they'll probably have it anyway. The 12th Annual Motor Mania Car Show is this weekend. Jackson Block of 5K. That has to do with, now what is that in association with? It's Jackson Walk's 10th anniversary kickoff. The Jackson Walk 5K benefits RIFA, that's right. And the race begins at the lift and features a picturesque route through our neighborhood and University of Memphis Lambeth campus. Come dressed in your St. Patrick's Day attire and race to the Pot of Gold. That's tomorrow morning. It starts at 9 a.m. So quite a busy weekend on tap here in Jackson and across West Tennessee. Okay, Rich, you were about to get to something, and we went to a timeout.
Yeah. I want to talk about another one of these cases that's post-brewing, and this is called Perez-Galan. It's out in the Western District of Texas. It's in a federal court, and it was decided November 10th of 2022, so this is very recent. And what it was a young man in an intrastate vehicle had a firearm in there, and when the police stopped him, they asked if they could search and if he had a firearm, and he said, yes, I do. It's in my backpack. And in that backpack, they found a folded up restraining order from 2010 from Kentucky. And so they took him into custody, arrested him, and said that you cannot, because that's the way the law is now. You can't be in possession of a firearm if you have even the suggestion that there was a domestic violence situation.
Okay, that was from 2010. What year was this we're talking?
2022.
What?
Yeah. So, anyway, they took him into custody, and he sued, and this is what the judge in that case said. Before brewing, the Second Amendment looked like an abandoned cabin in the woods. A knot of vines, weeds, and roots left unkept for decades, crawling up the cabin sides of it, pulling it under the earth. Firearm regulations are that overgrowth. Starting with the Federal Firearms Act in 1938, laws were passed with little, if any, consideration given to their constitutionality. That is, until the Supreme Court intervened in brewing. No longer can lower courts account for public policy interests, historical analysis being the only tool. But after going unchecked for almost 100 years, today's tangle of gun laws has left lower courts with a Gordian knot. And after engaging with this nation's tradition of firearms regulation several times already, the court's unanswered question is whether brewing demands lower courts manicure the Second Amendment's landscape by scalpel or chainsaw. That's a federal judge.
Well.
So it just simply says if it wasn't something on the books at the time of the founding,
I'm with you.
The only thing you can use for scrutiny is what they had at that point. And so all this mess that we've got now about couple of DUIs or one within 5 years, or even what they said here was there was no rule on the book at the time of the founding about a domestic situation. Well, if he's a criminal, put him in jail and keep him there, but you can't tell him he can't have a gun when he's out.
Well, it's against the spirit of the law, isn't it?
It's absolutely against the spirit of the law.
Yes, it's... Larry, what do you have anything to offer, Larry?
Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here with my mouth open.
Well, and the whole point of this is we've taken for years and years people's feelings into consideration. But we don't look at laws anymore. We feel like. It's just like the Sheriff's Association, the Chiefs of Police, the TBI, the Department of Safety, every one of them saying we don't feel it's a good idea to allow the citizens of Tennessee to have a loaded long gun. Okay? You wouldn't have a state of Tennessee or a United States if it weren't for Tennesseans with loaded long guns.
But these people today, though, okay, don't you think it's a good idea that they have some training before you turn them loose on the general population?
No.
Why is that?
If you make that the metric, then nobody can have it. What you can
training?
say is what you should do is have training. And just like it says a well-regulated militia, we suggest that everybody get training, and we offer training. And we try, but to make that the metric, if you don't have training, you can't have the arm, that's no good. They're even in Tennessee now, they're giving, say, a woman that's got a domestic assault deal against her, they'll let her have a handgun carry permit with no training whatsoever. They'll let her go pick up a gun and carry it with her all the time without having any training whatsoever, because that's the way it's intended. Now,
yeah, but wait a minute. We've got a bad problem with mass shootings in America, and you say the problem is we don't have enough guns.
Well, what we don't do is we don't punish the people who are guilty of the mass shootings. If we had, if you look at what it was at the time of the founding when they're saying we're going to have to go back, every felony was a capital offense. The punishment for a felony was death.
You're not
they put you to death.
But you're not suggesting that, are you?
What it would do is cut way down on recidivism, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because they'd be dead. But
okay.
they
you're
privatized.
Not going to keep them up for the next 40 years.
Yeah, but
and they're not going to be back out on the street in 10 years doing the same thing again.
But
here's what they did at that point. They said this:
Rich, we have
if
the death
they
penalty.
could turn a person loose back on society, if they felt like it was viable to do that, they gave him his horse, his voting rights, and his gun back.
Okay. Now, you must admit, though, they did a lot of dumb stuff back then, right?
But what they did was they erased those people that they couldn't trust to go back into society. Because at that point, every felony was a capital offense.
But yes, that's true. But I can't ride along with that, though, Rich. It's and plus you would have to go up against. They privatized the prison system to a large degree. They're not going to want to put them to death because they like repeat business. It works. It's a good money.
Yeah, I get it. But it ain't good for the victims. There's a guy named Charles Astor.
That's right.
He was a Marine.
Right.
And he talks about this fact that the criminal does not fear the courts. He does not fear prison. He does not fear the police. And the only way that you're going to stop crime is to make him fear the victim.
Now, there is some truth to that because the threat of I've not got to the point to where, okay, if it wasn't for having to go to prison, I think I'd pistol whip Larry. I've not been that close to it. You know what I mean? But I think if I were really considering it, I'd be like, you know what? I don't think I want to go to prison. But for some people, that's not a deterrent. You may even get some street cred for. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, Larry, what do you say to that?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm with you. I figured that out.
The whole point of this matter is that the Second Amendment, and here's another thing Scalia said in the Heller case. He said, some have made the argument bordering on frivolous that only those arms in existence in the 18th century are protected by the Second Amendment. Here we go back to that musket things,
Right.
He said, we do not interpret constitutional rights that way. Just as the First Amendment protects modern forms of communications, what we're doing right now, radio, cell phones,
right,
text, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And the Fourth Amendment applies to modern forms of search. Well, they can set up and they can shoot through your house and hear every word that you're saying now, but we call that illegal. We don't let them search you like that. Even though we've got these modern forms, what we're saying is that your stuff is sacrosanct from the Constitution. And the Fourth Amendment applies to modern forms of search. The Second Amendment extends prima facie to all instruments that constitute bearable arms, even those that were not in existence at the time of the founding. And that is from Brother Scalia, Tony, as you put it a while ago.
Tony Scalia.
Antonian Scalia.
Right.
Verbatim is what he said, that if you can pick it up and tote it, you got a right to carry it and have it.
And you say that is based upon the Constitution, which a well-armed militia,
that's
not
right.
just there, if you think Tennessee was protecting itself in case Arkansas wanted to invade, but in case the U.S.
We've got
government...
an invasion coming across the southern border right now.
Yep.
Can't anybody argue with that. And see, self-defense depends on three different things. Self-defense can be against a criminal, okay? Somebody trying to take your stuff or hurt you. Self-defense can also be against an invader, someone coming into your country and trying to take it over. And the third instance is against a government that has gone tyrannical. And all of those are spoken about in our Constitution and saying we have a right to stand against those.
Now tell me, give me some examples of how the government's gone tyrannical.
I can think of one in 1776.
I mean, you're right.
When the government
today,
at that point was tyrannical.
No. I'm talking about right now. You said.
Okay. How about the Battle of Athens up in Athens, Tennessee in 1945?
No, I'm talking about right now. I thought you.
Well, I figured that the government's being tyrannical when they tell me that I can't carry my firearms, that I have an absolute right to carry.
Okay. Yeah, I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying, and I'm with you on that, but I thought you were saying right now, tyrannical governments. I was asking what
we're saying is we have to be prepared for that in the future.
Yeah, so
that they wrote the Constitution so that we are prepared for anything that may come up.
If you wait for it so your government goes rogue and then say, okay, boys, we need to get armed.
It's too late.
It's too late. Okay. Now, the U.S. military is the most modern military on planet Earth.
You're walking into a trap here, but just keep traping on. I'm going to have you on this one.
No, you don't. You're consistent across the board. We've had this conversation. There are people listening for the first time that they hear, okay, I can't defend myself very well with a .22 rifle against an Apache attack helicopter. Okay. Would you be okay for me driving around with anti-aircraft fire in the trunk of my car or Patriot missile silos in my backyard?
Okay, well, have you heard the term dangerous and unusual weapons? They talk about that in the Bruin case. They say, well, you can't ride with terror to the people with dangerous and unusual weapons. That is a Henna Davis.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So what it is two words connected by a conjunction that gives it a separate meaning. Dangerous and unusual. Do you know what the only definition I've been able to find? You know how I do my research?
Yes,
in
I
Boston,
do. Yes.
In 1788, they said you cannot store your cannon in your house loaded because it's a fire hazard.
Okay.
And if you have grape canisters, you cannot have powder in them in your house because it's a fire hazard. Those are dangerous weapons if they're loaded, but you can still have them if you didn't have gunpowder in them.
So, okay, how would that translate to today?
What Scalia said was it covers everything that connotes a bearable weapon. May not cover a tank, though you can also own a tank right now. And it may not cover an anti-aircraft gun, but I know some guys that have got them. They have to go ahead and pay the $200 tax stamp, but I can carry you to Crossville, Tennessee and show you some. And they got ammunition for them.
For anti-aircraft fire?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When this nation was founded, there was no government, and so there were no cannons in the hands of the government. But we used them to defeat Great Britain, and they were in the hands of private citizens. We absolutely have an unfettered right to have those arms.
Okay. You seem upset, Rich.
No, I'm not upset. I'm forthright, I believe is the term.
I'm trying to balance all this.
I get it.
No. It's I'm just thinking this over here. Larry, do you have anything to offer at all? Don't say you're sitting over there with your mouth open. We know that.
Well, I'm just trying to digest everything, but I agree with the Supreme Court.
And let's take the final thing that they said in the Heller decision.
Yeah.
It may be objected that if weapons that are most useful in military service, M16 rifles and the like, may be banned, then the Second Amendment right is completely detached from the prefatory clause. But, as we have said, the conception of the militia at the time of the Second Amendment's ratification was the body of all citizens capable of military service, who would bring the sorts of lawful weapons that they possessed at home to military duty. It may be true today that a militia, to be as effective as the militias in the 18th century, would require sophisticated arms that are highly unusual in society at large. That's directly from Antonin Scalia in the District of Columbia v. Heller.
So Richard Archie's here. Richard is with the Tennessee Firearms Association, and I tell you this: he works very, very hard. I'm a gun owner, and I'm a customer at the Range. Do you know the people down at the Range?
Absolutely, yeah.
They're wonderful human
They're
beings.
supporters of the TFA.
Oh, Chip Holland is just a great American, isn't he?
Yes.
Wonderful human being. Now I did take the training course there, and I learned a lot. And I know you don't discourage people from training at all. It's a good thing. You just think it ought to be your choice.
That's correct.
Okay. What about a driver's license? Is that an infringement? Now, because that's asked a lot. You've been asked that before, I'm sure.
I love it when they do that.
So what do you say?
I say, show me in the Constitution where there's a right to drive.
They didn't have cars.
There's nothing in the Constitution about a right to drive.
But
there is no right. That's a privilege.
That's right. Yeah, but okay, that's true.
There's a whole difference there.
But where does common sense come in here, though?
Common sense is gun control is making sure the bullet hits where you point it. Hey, you don't want it to go out there and hit somebody else or go somewhere where it's not aimed. I'm serious, it's a heart attack. Gun control is making sure
it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. You've heard that before. Richard Archie is here. So that's what I respected you across the board, because I've heard people come in here and say they're gun advocates, and I asked them about, okay, look, you really think you're going to have a chance against an Apache attack helicopter?
Okay, let's take it for instance.
And I always say, so would you be okay with me having anti-aircraft fire, Patriot missile silos in the backyard? No, that's ridiculous. You don't say that.
No, I don't. And I will say this, I'll give you, for instance, about the two greatest armies in the world, Russia and the United States, were in Afghanistan for over 47 years. And a bunch of guys living in a cage with wire-bound muzzleloaders and AK-47s that Russia gave them. And they got kids over, I've seen the videos of them, scooping the powder into the spent casing, taking a nail, driving out the primer, and then taking a hammer and knocking a new bullet in. And they defeated the army of Russia and the United States and had us pull out, and we left them millions of dollars of sophisticated weapons.
In the deserts.
And to people who absolutely hate us. And so we armed them, but they won't let us arm ourselves for our own self-protection.
They hate us for our freedoms, right?
That's right.
Actually, I think they hate us for another reason. I don't think they could care about our freedoms. It's something about their natural resources that we seem to cherish.
See, and that doesn't work either, because we got more oil in the continental United States than everybody else in the world put together.
Yeah. Okay.
And so all we got to do is drill our own.
It's it's not setting it on service level like it is over there, right? You jam a straw in the ground, you strike oil over in the Middle East.
Hey, let me tell you what, it's easier to get oil out of the ground here than it is over there.
Well, now you're in the business, you should know.
Yeah, I should know.
So it's
all that fracking that we were doing is running it right to the surface, but they won't let us do it now.
What?
And they've closed down all the places we can drill. And so what they want us to do is have to go over there and buy it from them. We're literally buying Russian oil right now.
No,
Does that make any sense?
We've got an embargo against Russia. You think we're buying Russian oil?
Yeah.
Why do you think it is that if we could get oil, well, as you say, and I don't question you because you were in the oil business, as easily as they can get it in the Middle East, why are we not using our oil?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
What do you think the answer is?
I think the answer is that they don't want us to be self-sufficient, that they want us dependent on the rest of the world, that they don't want us to be the shining city on the hill that Reagan talked about.
Well, the same thing was going on then.
Yeah, but we had different people in the controls.
Yeah, but it was the same result.
No, I don't think it was the same result at all.
Reagan administration?
No, Reagan ran it totally different than it's being run now, brother. I promise you that.
Well, Reagan's one of two of his guys, Rumsfeld and Cheney. But don't get me to Ronald Reagan because it broke my heart when I did research on it, and I still want to believe that he just was not really himself. I want to believe that. It may not be true, but I'm not sure he's in heaven riding horses with Jesus. I don't know. It's
Well, ain't none of us going to know that until we get there and check our surroundings.
That's an excellent point you just made. And but
hey, there's a lot of people think they're going to go, but they may not be going to be there.
Was that directed towards me?
Straight is the way and narrow is the gate.
Was that directed toward me or Larry?
Or both of us? It's a fact. That's all. It's just like the Constitution.
So you think what do you think would happen if we all of a sudden American citizens did not have guns?
It'd be easy to put us on the trains.
Do you think they would do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that's the only thing standing between trains and us is our guns?
Absolutely.
But Richard, that's a bleak picture or painting that you are working on that canvas there.
Well, it may be, but it's a fact.
Well, the people that write
you can look across the ages at every population that has been disarmed by an invader, and as soon as they get the guns away from them or their own government, by the way, because that's what they did in Germany, they said, well, if you want to use a firearm, you need to join the Wehrmacht. You need to be in the army.
I agree with what you're saying. I do. But now, is it possible or is it logical that we can do a background check into it, essentially mental health background check before someone can buy a firearm? What do you stand on that?
Well, I mean, when you buy a new firearm right now, you have to go through it. So that's already there.
No, is mental health.
Yeah, that's already there.
Okay, tell me how that works, because I keep hearing people say
you must have a background check done to buy a firearm from an FFL. So you go in there, they have to run the full check on you, an FBI, TBI, and local law enforcement. And if you've been mentally adjudicated deficient, it's going to show up on that background check.
Well, why do they keep saying we can't even check to see if this guy has mental illness?
Because they're lying.
Okay. All right. Again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I thought you were going to tag it, but duh. Okay. So that's one of the things they do check for.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think it's too easy to get a firearm legally in the U.S.?
No, I don't think it's too easy.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, they tried to do
hard?
this 2 days ago.
Yeah.
They signed an executive order that said you couldn't leave your firearm to your son without doing a background check. So you would have to put it on the books of an FFL dealer, let him transfer that. That'll cost you $45. And then if they find that your son's okay, then it costs you another $45 to give your own property to your own family.
So the the shotgun and 2 rifles I inherited when my grandfather died, they would not be mine until
You went through a background check. He could not will those to you now. So here's the thing. When this country was founded at 16 years old, in fact, as early as 12, they handed you a rifle and told you were a man and you were required to hunt, fish, and protect your family. Okay? You were required in Tennessee at the age of 16 to be a member of the militia in the 1780s. And so we've changed all that today because one of the founders said, we'll be okay until we get crowded up in the cities like they are in Europe, then we're done.
Right.
Well, that's where we're at right now. All these big cities pressed together, that's where the bad crime's at. And there's plenty of places for them to hide, and they can't run them down. Hey, you were talking a while ago about law enforcement. Do you know the average number, the ratio of citizens to law enforcement in Madison County right now?
I do not.
All right. Hazard a guess. Let's just see how close you can get.
Okay, Larry, you need to contribute in some way, so you
5,000 to 1.
5,000 to 1, the man says.
That's not close. It's worse than that.
10,000 to 1.
That's a little under that. It's about 7,800 to 1.
Now, what next? It's 7,800 to 1.
7,800 to 1.
Okay.
Most certified law enforcement officers, 2 citizens in Madison County.
What do you think it should be?
On duty at any one time.
Good, healthy number. What would it be?
Well, the whole part of the matter is they're not responsible for your security or safety.
I got you.
You can't hire none. The whole point of it is...
That's right. Exactly.
You'd have to have one for every person.
That's the
point. So how many people we got in Madison County now?
100,000, let's say that.
So we'd have to have 100,000 police officers.
That's right, and that's something that most people don't understand. There's no way the police are there to protect you. They're there to respond to an emergency situation, right? They can't be at all places at all time. And you're right. So, yeah, you can't have enough.
Will the average
in a
police
country,
officer take a bullet for you? Absolutely. Are they required to by statute?
No,
they're
sir.
not.
No. And so, yeah, if in a country, if we're going to enjoy freedom, you cannot be guaranteed safety. You can't be. And when we gave up so much freedom to the Bush administration because they were scaring us here with the Homeland Security, remember they would do the Homeland Security orange, green, red, and in the way they were able to turn, we got to think about this too, the way they were able to turn the opinion of the population of conservatives. I like to lost my mind on there over this, and I took a lot of heat for it. And I started. A wise man once said, "If you give up your freedoms in the name of security, right?
You'll have neither."
We know this, but we still do. It's that group mentality, man. It's the flock. People want to go with the flow, right? Be a part of something. And so they were telling me on there, well, because I was saying, are you serious? You want to let the government listen to your phone calls and read your emails? Yes, because it's a war on terror. And Reeves, if you're not doing anything wrong, why would you mind? I was like, you got to be kidding me. You must have been coming unglued over this.
I do not subscribe to that line of reasoning whatsoever. The Constitution tells me that I'm supposed to be securing my papers and effects from unreasonable search and seizure. They shall not issue general warrants. They must name what they're looking for and the place that they're looking for it. Those are my constitutional rights. They were gifted to me pre-existing to the founding of this nation. God gave me that right.
And so if you let them take that, they'll take every bit they can
absolutely.
Get. And that's no longer your house and your property when that happens.
Well, it's not your house or property now. And you want me to explain to you why it's not? All you got to do is stop paying your property tax.
That's right.
And see what
That's
happens.
right. Yeah, well, that's...
And who will show up to toss your stuff in the street and throw you out and sell it to somebody that will pay the tax on it? It'd be somebody with a gun.
That's right.
Mao Zedong, who was the penultimate communist in the world, said, all political power comes from the barrel of a gun. The party must control all the guns so that no gun can ever control the party. That's just as succinct and clear today as it was when he said it. It's a fact.
Yep. Okay.
You're going to have to salute the man with the switchblade. It is far better for you to be holding the switchblade.
Rich, before we get out of here, we're split down the middle. We've made it very easy for them to divide us. And that's the way that the ruling class has operated since day one on planet Earth, divide and conquer. And they own the national media outlets. They're forcing us to figure everything's politicized these days. You're one of the few that's consistent across the board. That's why I always bring up, can I put Patriot missile silos in my backyard? And you're always consistent with that. You're the only one I've ever had on the show that's consistent with it. They divided us. We're angry as a nation. We have Americans hating other Americans. It's not a healthy way to live. We're sick people. We're unhealthy. I mean, we have a childhood obesity epidemic. We have an adult obesity epidemic. We're not healthy. We're angry. We're addicted to opiates. And, our legislators have paved the way for all this to happen. There is no outcome that is a rosy picture that's being painted here. There's only one outcome, and it's bad. Is this intentional? Or are these people this brilliant? Or you don't have to be that brilliant if you own the national media outlets, because you control the thing. You control the way people think. The propaganda works. We know that, right? So I hear, okay, if we are unhealthy, if we're angry and addicted to dope, I think it's a great... I don't see anything that could go wrong with making sure everybody has guns. What would you say to somebody who said that? Because we hear this quite a bit.
Well, the whole point of the matter is that each of us is responsible for our own safety and security. We know that. There's no Nobody can rationally deny that statement. And as such, then what we're promised in our Constitution is the best tools that we can find to perfect that safety and security. As we know that law enforcement is covered by qualified immunity and is not responsible for the production of that, then it remains on us as sentient individuals to look at our Constitution where it says all power is inherent in the people and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of those ends, they have at all times an unalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. That's Article 1, Section 1 of our Tennessee Declaration of Rights. Article 1, Section 2 says, government being instituted for the common benefit, the doctrine of non-resistance against arbitrary power and oppression is absurd, slavish, and destructive of the good and happiness of mankind. Now, we're told you can't trust the government. You got to be in control of it. You got to watch it all the time. What did that guy say that time? He said, you got to guard the public liberty. Watch every person that approaches that precious jewel. The only thing that will keep it is downright force, and if you give up that force, you are inevitably ruined. So it's our job to be armed, be watchful, to be proactive, and to keep our fingers on the pulse of government.
Richard Archie, ladies and gentlemen. Rich, you're fantastic as always, my friend. I'm so glad to hear from you today.
Yep.
And
I'm glad you let me come on.
I was mad at you. He's not called me in a month. I was so mad at him. I told Larry, I said, I'm so mad at Richard. I don't know what I do to him. I don't know what I did to him.
I just hadn't had any time off from Nashville. That's been the deal.
Listen, I know you've been busy. Of course I kid. You're welcome anytime you want to come in here. You know this, Richard Archie with the Tennessee Firearms Association. Ladies and gentlemen, the only indoor shooting range and training facility in Jackson, Tennessee is The Range. The website is gototherange.com, gototherange.com, gototherange.com. Richard Archie just told you they're great Americans, aren't they, Rich? At the right, Richard, you paying attention to me?
No,
Say yes.
At least he's honest.
They're great Americans.
The Range.
Yeah.
Great Americans down there.
They are.
You know Jonathan Greer?
I do not.
Cambridge Men's Store. He also works down at the Range. I mean, this guy knows. I got to introduce you to Jonathan. He knows guns. He's a young guy, 25 years old. Great American. You'll love it. What, Monty? They'll really hit it off.
He love him.
He'll take you under his wing.
Okay. I could use some of that, actually, for a change.
Actually, I mean, it's vice versa, of course. But it's the only indoor shooting range in Jackson and a training facility in Jackson. That's The Range. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays 1 till 6. The website is gototherange.com, gototherange.com, gototherange.com. The phone number is 731-240-1776 for crying out loud. Even their phone number is patriotic. And Chip Holland is just a great American. Right, Rich? He really is.
Absolutely.
But wait, there's more. If you mention the Dan Reeves Show or if you mention Chuck Walker, you're going to get a handgun carry safety course from The Range. It's a $45 value, and they're going to give it to you free of charge.
Cool.
And like Rich said, hey, look, I'm all for the training course. It's great you need to be responsible, and don't ever get it twisted. Richard is for responsible gun owners, and you need to go through a safety course, but that's a recommendation. It's not dogma, right? That's all
correct.
You're saying. You're not going to shoehorn it in.
Nope.
But you recommend it.
Every person should be responsible, and so therefore responsible people are proficient and they're well regulated in their use of a firearm.
Well said, sir. And that's a good way to end it. Go to therange.com. Go to therange.com. Larry Newman. Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. You're fantastic.
I have a new favorite guest.
Thank you, Larry, but I'm not a guest. Oh.
Not you.
Whatever. Don't say that out of fear. You mean it, right?
I do mean it. Very knowledgeable.
No, Richard is. He's fantastic. Richard, again, thank you for taking time.
Yes, sir.
I know how hard you work. And I really appreciate it. And others appreciate it very much too, Rich. Thank you.
All right.
And my name's Dan Reese. Thanking you for listening. Thanking you for watching. And Rich will be back. Rich comes on whenever he has time. And he never, ever will hesitate to come on and share with you what he knows, what he's learned, and take your questions and comments just like he did today. And it is 47 degrees right now. We're under a freeze warning until
Frost after midnight.
Frost. Nothing good happens before midnight is what I always say. Don't say they, Rich. And then keep that in mind. There you go.
Your mama told you. You know better. Now do better.
You're not going to ruin my good mood. I'm just telling you, Rich. Yes. Thank you again for listening and watching. Tennessee plays here tomorrow. Tennessee versus Duke. And the NCAA Go Vols. That's tomorrow. I think airtime for us is around 1 p.m. tomorrow. Listen here at News Talk 96.5 FM and across our platform at newstalk965.com and across our social media platforms as well. And Larry, remind me to get those custom blinds done because it's that time of year we sprung for it last weekend, and that sun is booming through those windows, and it's going to get worse, right?
Right. Hey, Dan,
right. Yes,
don't
sir.
forget to get those blinds for those front windows because they blind you.
Yep. No, I meant like put it in an email. I just said it. So thank you, Larry. I know I need to be more descriptive with my words with you, and I understand that. So we're out of here. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll be back with you Monday morning. And, of course, anytime the weather turns bad, we'll be in here with severe storm coverage team, right? We got a great team, I tell you that. And don't forget, log on to newstalk965.com and submit your questions. The mayoral debate, sponsored by News Talk 96.5 and Sports Orthopedics and Spine. Great to have Sports Orthopedics and Spine with Dr. Nord and Dr. Nord. They are a wonderful, wonderful orthopedic surgeon, both the doctors, and they are cutting edge with technology at Sports Orthopedics and Spine. So submit your questions, and maybe, just maybe, your question will be used with the 6 mayoral candidates Thursday night, Jackson Northside High School at the Northside Auditorium, 6:30 to about 8. It's going to be tight, and you'll get a chance to, we'll take some questions from the audience. We'll pick some questions that are submitted by the audience, and you can submit at newstalk965.com your question you'd like to hear one of the mayoral candidates or the mayoral candidate's address. That's newstalk965.com. Have a wonderful weekend. That's all for us today. And again, Tennessee. Reminder, Tennessee plays here tomorrow. It's our pregame hits at 1 p.m. And Tennessee and Duke in the NCAAs.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against President Vladimir Putin of Russia. He's accused of a war crime of illegally deporting hundreds of children from Ukraine. The move will obligate the court's 123 member states to arrest Putin and transfer him to the Hague for trial if he sets foot in their territory. ICC President Piotr Hofmansky.
It is forbidden by international law for occupied powers to transfer civilians from the territory they live in to other territories. Children enjoy special protection under the Geneva Convention.
But a trial could be a long way off, if ever. Moscow does not recognize the court's jurisdiction. Also, at townhall.com, the Environmental Protection Agency is telling states not to block waste from last month's major train derailment.
The EPA has ordered states to stop blocking contaminated waste on the February 3rd Norfolk Southern train derailment in Ohio from being sent to hazardous waste storage sites around the country. A handful of politicians and states have sought to block shipments from East Palestine, including Oklahoma.